Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to AMX Global. We're here tonight with myself, and we're here at Talladega Nascar 1987. One of my favorites in the rules, or not in the rules, in the iRacing. Season 4. And let's do a bit of housekeeping here tonight. And before we do any of that, welcome, Mr. Damon. Welcome to AMX, mate.
Hello, man. It's great to be here for tonight. Tonight? Yeah, tonight. Let's go with that.
Yeah, tonight.
A bit late.
It is tonight. I think it is. Yes, it is tonight. So, guys, welcome back. I'm Connor. Normally, you don't really hear my voice for the last week or two, but I'm back again, and it should be quite a bit of fun. So tonight we've got a bit of a list, bit of an interesting combo tonight. But it's a good, interesting combo. So we'll get moving on to the housework, but let's get on with it. So here's a bit of housework for AMX Global this season. For Season 4 overview, so the dates is the 27th to the 21st of April. We are giving away $20,000. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a lot of money, and we're actually giving away some next level gear as well, our great partner with AMX. Most races in the year, car and track combos as well. Race format is 20-minute qualifier, so you've got 20 minutes to get your lap in. Then it's a top 15 reverse grid. So basically, if you qualified P1 and you basically go back to 15th, then you'd have to work your way up. And then Heat 1, 20 minutes, and then another reverse grid, top 15, then Heat 2. So that's normally our format, or it is our format for AMX Global. AMX overview again. So with our AMX, it is actually required now to have a face cam. So we've put it in the system now, and it's such a great thing. Turn on your face cam, guys. It's really good to see who's out there. It's been great from the last, from the start of the year. Then the payouts are quite interesting. $100 payout each month. Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday is our race days. Sign up to AMX at anytime.com. Great league to join, and move on to the next one. And here's the schedule as well. So we run off GMT time. It's probably just the best overall time to be on. It helps me for sure. So we race on a Tuesday, 5 p.m. For AMX 1. Saturday, Sunday as well. So that's all at 5:50 p.m. I repeat, 5:50 p.m. And then AMX 10. And Tuesday is 7:20, Saturday and Sunday. So that's our schedule. And here we go. This is the fun part. So this is the AMX 1 race prizes. So if you be the fast one out on track, which we all love to be, you do get $7 for getting first place. That is US $7. And then total race prize is $100 across the whole field. So if you do finish in 15th tonight, you still get a little bit of money, and it's awesome to be involved. So get involved, guys. AMX 1 top 12. This is actually quite interesting. It's very close at the moment. So we have Diego and Connor Healy in first and second, only split by cents. It's not far at all. Then Marciello is in third. Fernando Arago is in fourth. Fabio Bellizzi is in P5, and then there's the rest of the field. So you can see there, this is our leaderboard so far for the top 12. So good to be involved with that, with all those guys. And Connor Healy doing really well. He's been a bit of a standout, and it'll be good to see Diego and Connor Healy going at it. This is a new one as well. We've got a bit of a prize for you guys. So if you do win AMX 1 overall, you do get a prize. Connor Healy is in second right now, but our winner so far, he'll come up on screen at the moment. There he is. Rago, he has been our top competitor at the moment, and he is currently P1, so he will, if he holds onto it, he's going to get a next level light rig. What a great little rig. Worked with them before, really nice partners from AMX Global Next Level Racing. And he is currently sitting on 49 points as well. And here's our current promotion. So this is basically a purchase and entry for 3 days before the race gets 30% off to all AMX Season 4 races. This is basically almost a season pass, you can almost say. Season tickets, let me just move that. AMX Race will have season entries tickets available for purchase for these tickets for each class is a total of 50% off. So get involved, guys. AMX.com. Now, this is the fun part. We got past the the cleanup crew, but now we're on to the track. Let's have a look at it. And Damon, I'll let you take it away for this one, mate.
Thank you very much, Connor. Well, Talladega is a name that is world-renowned, despite being part of an American-only race series. Of course, one of the most famous oval tracks alongside Daytona. It's also the longest NASCAR oval in the season calendar. Opened up in 1969, so it's rapidly approaching its 60th anniversary of being used for NASCAR. And quick trivia for everyone, the Talladega Curse is a thing born from a bunch of strange occurrences that did occur on this very track, and it's consistent enough that people have been talking about it. So let's hope we don't get any of that here tonight on this race. And of course, we will be going over to the cars that we'll be using for this round of the NASCAR Legends of 1987. We got 4 cars in this class, all of them running big bore V8s, around 350 to 360 cubic inches of V8 muscle, live axle rear ends, and generating about 650 horsepower, which for 1987 is a considerable amount. These cars will go upwards of 200 miles an hour on this oval. So it's going to be a pretty intense ride along as we go over the races tonight. And back to you, Connor, where we about to start qualifying.
I was about to say, thank you, Damon. That was awesome, mate. I got some fun facts out of that, so appreciate that as usual, mate. And we're going to move on to qualifying, like Damon said. So let's see these guys get on track and try and put 650 horsepower down on the racetrack. Here we are on board with a driver I think he's on his outlap at the moment. And Damon, you mentioned this track's quite old. I always look at the dates and go, either the track's very new or that's old. But this one's a bit of an ancient one.
Yeah, it's been around since I think the owner of the track, I remember his name. I think William Bill France Sr. He wanted a track to beat Daytona as the premier NASCAR track. So he decided to make it bigger, faster, longer, you name it, the American way, of course. And to his credit, it paid out. It paid off very well for him.
It definitely did. I'm a bit of a Daytona lover. I actually did a race around here recently with a bunch of mates. With Talladega and the 87 NASCAR. It is such a great combo to drive. The car moves around a lot. You get quite a bit of understeer in the mid-corner. So, yeah, it's definitely a great combo. And riding on board with the driver here, doing his qualifying lap at the moment. So this is lone qualifying. I don't know if I mentioned that. I don't think I did. But lone qualifying, everyone gets out and does their lap on their own. So it keeps it all fair, just in case, there was teammates slipstreaming off each other. If it was an open qualifying, keeps it nice and fair. So he's on the back straight now. So we'll see what his lap time is. But this looks really clean. We see the steering wheel input being very nice and smooth. Nothing drastic. And this is actually Rago here on screen here now, and look at those headphones, Damon. They're very colourful.
Yeah, truly living up to the RGB. I think mine are about the same right there. If you can see, of course, he is on. I think this is the Chevrolet Monte Carlo he's on right now. One of the best performing cars of the 1987 season. I think it won nearly half of the races in that calendar year. So I think he made a good choice with this.
Yeah, and definitely, it was a very competitive car back in the day, and obviously being from Days of Thunder as well, it is a bit of a memory, I would say, with these cars going around. I love Days of Thunder, great movie. So moving on from cars and Days of Thunder, talking about the next level rig we talked about before. We can actually see Kevin Garcia here in the next level racing rig, so that's really cool. He's all focused up though in the with the hat nice and down, and I think he's actually got an American livery on here tonight. I just seen it in the bottom right there, so that should be a nice colourful car. So Kevin here just doing nice and smooth on the inputs. We've seen this for the last couple of weeks in NASCAR. These guys have been really smooth, really taking care of this car, not really moving around too much, and yeah, you can see here on the leaderboard, he's doing okay. He's in third place at the moment. He's the fellow American, so he looks like the only American here tonight. Kevin Garcia doing really well here for his countrymen, and we'll see him finish up this lap here. We've got a couple of minutes to go. We're just about to click over 13 minutes of qualifying out of 20. So these guys will have, they've got quite a bit of time, so they can have a break, stretch their legs, and go and grab a drink after this qualifying. But I think most of them will keep going around. And he's just done another lap there, 46.5, just put a heater down. So he's done well there. And actually only a couple of hundredths off his fastest there. So, yeah, we can see here he's just not doing much. So, Damon, what's your kind of opinion on this 87?
I think, honestly, it's probably a very difficult car to drive on any other track except an oval, because you have to consider the car's from 98.7, it's got a 4-speed, it doesn't have power steering, has a live rear axle. These things, if you put them on any other track other than an oval, just seem like complete disasters just waiting to happen. But it seems like all these drivers have gotten these under control so far. And when you talk about oval racing, it's not just the lines that you have to consider. It's also a very tactical game, because you have to figure out drafting, slipstream, as well as overtaking maneuvers, because any mistake that you make on this track, especially if you're right next to another car, is going to be bad for both of the drivers.
Yeah, definitely, and we can see Connor Healy on parked up. Oh, voice crack there. My apologies. Connor Healy on the side of the road there, just parked up, and I'd say he's looking at the door and turned back around, and the Altus driver just sitting there nice and calmly. So maybe he's starting at the back and do a bit of a tactical game here. And that's Rago in the bottom left there, just chilling out before the start of the race. And have a look at this livery, David. What a livery!
Oh man, truly the most blue-blooded American there is.
I absolutely love it. And he's actually got the fastest top speed as well. I just saw that, 351 kilometers an hour. That is light speed for only having 650 horsepower. And I say 600 horsepower, that's almost that's kind of small these days. You know, we see these modern NASCARs have close to 700. So yeah, it's quite interesting to see that back in the day they were running close to that number. But yeah, I think these guys are on a restrictor plate, if I'm correct. Or I could be correct or wrong. But riding on board here with our current leader. I mean, what do you think of his driving at the moment?
I think he's very clean, very smooth. All the qualities that you really need to be a very fast oval racer. Of course, the cars themselves are going to be fighting against you almost the entire time. So having car control, especially at this level, is very important. And looks like I think this is Gayoso that we're seeing on the screen right now. He's handling himself quite well.
Yeah, Gayoso doing very well here. We've seen him in the last couple of weeks do really well. Oh, apologies. Gaioso doing really well here. We've seen him in the last couple of weeks get some strong results. A couple of top threes, and being at the front most of the time. So he's come to this track and this round of AMX One with a lot of force, setting it on pole and just doing laps here. We can see here he just did a 47 there, so he's about a second off the pace, and he's going to keep carrying the speed over the next couple of laps, just trying to get used to the lines and just see where the car sits. I do know you do have to lift you around here to save that front right tyre. You don't really want to be using those right side tyres at all until the last lap. Guys are doing really well here, but yeah, good to see him back as well. I haven't seen these guys for about a week or two now, so yeah, it's good to see them all back. And coming across the line again. Does he improve? Ooh. I think that should have been an improvement, but that's quite interesting. Pulled over there, Gaioso, and he's pulled back to the pits now. Here's another driver.
The Breaking Bad reference.
This one, mate.
All right, of course, this is Diego Villarreal. We did see him on Tuesday. He did take part in Tuesday's race with the Renault Clio Cup cars. Did quite well there, finished around the middle of the pack, so he did end up with a few more dollars in his purse with, of course, the Los Pollos Hermanos. I think he's driving... Hang on, I have to check out the race map. Yeah, he's driving the only Buick in the grid right now, the Buick LeSabre Custom.
Oh, wow. I don't actually see the Buick too much in officials, leagues. I don't really see it, so it's quite interesting to see a Buick out there, but he's carrying the name for the Buicks. And Connor Healy back on screen here, the Altus driver, looking nice and calm. We always see Connor Healy, he doesn't really do many expressions, so if he is watching this back, Connor, maybe smile down this front straight, give us a smile, give us a wave. But he's a fellow countryman of myself, being of course from Australia, and yeah, he's in second place at the moment in the championship, so he's doing that quite comfortably, and it's quite early for him, but he's doing it nice and well. It's about 5 o'clock where he is at the moment. It's about 2 where I am, so he's doing very well to keep that steering wheel nice and straight and being nice and calm and focused up. And he's just done a lap there, and that's going to be the first lap. It's going to be in P5, so that could have been the out lap, and this could be the main lap here. So he's only got it. This is actually going to finish up, so he's not going to get it fully in. So, oh no, he will. I thought that said 19. My apologies. You can see I'm a bit off the gun tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but he's on the back straight now, and yeah, he's doing really well. We saw the exit being nice and smooth there. He's going to cut back down low, use all this entry here. You can see there quite a bit of lift there. Try and get some grip on those front tyres and drive it out on that exit with those rear tyres. Nice and smooth. It's going to be a pole position lap. Let's see if this is lap of the gods, is it?
Here he comes, about to cross the line. Oh, what a stonker of a lap.
That is a mighty good lap there from Connor Healy. We've seen him do some really good times over the last start of the year until now. He's been doing some amazing lap times. So Connor Healy putting an absolute smoker of a lap time down, and he looked pretty happy with that. We got a grin, and he's going to take pole position here for tonight. Connor Healy on top.
Alright, so as we're going into Heat 1, of course, as you mentioned earlier, we are doing a reverse grid, so the fastest lap will be starting at the back of the pack and vice versa, which means Connor Healy there with the fastest lap of 46.365 secures himself the $7 prize for having the best qualifying time, but will be starting off with a disadvantage. Or maybe it's an advantage when it comes to an oval, because you get a lot of draft coming from the rear.
Yeah, it could be definitely an advantage. He could definitely just use all that slipstream, and we can hear the cars firing up now, and we're going to get on the grid. But Connor Healy taking the BenQ season, not the season, the winner for this session winner, BenQ. So we're going to move on to this, and we can see him ripping the wheel, and we're going to get on the track now.
Coming back to the 4 racers, of course, Diego Villarreal will be starting in first place. So, as we're getting ready here, you can see that the times that they've been setting are pretty much the same. So what are your expectations for this race?
What's my expectations? I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to say Kevin Garcia is probably going to have a good start here. Obviously, having in second place, so he needs to kind of just get in behind. But if he can get behind P1 and slipstream, they could just slipstream away. But Rago and Connor Healy, I reckon they'll just slingshot their way to the front. But there's our lineup for tonight. 5 cars on the grid. Bit of a small grid, but we don't mind it because we can focus on 5 guys, and they would probably love it as a streaming point of view. And we can talk about their driving style, and yeah, they must love it. So we'll go through the grid. Diego P1, Kevin Garcia, Gaioso, Connor Healy, and Rago. So we've seen these guys actually quite a bit through the. See there with the producers in the background following it back up. You guys can put it down, but yeah, we see these guys a lot getting around, and they do quite well. So we're in the last corner now. Such a long corner here, Damon.
Yeah, it looks like it. And this important bit, like for all that it's worth, ovals are very important in 2 factors: is the drafting and cornering. Because as soon as you take the wrong line, you'll just lose so much momentum.
Yeah, you definitely lose a lot of momentum. But here we go. We're gonna go green here for AMX 1 for tonight. Got a quite an interesting night, and these guys will be kicking it off for us. Here we go. These guys will hold the speed about 100 kilometers an hour. We're gonna go green for the first time at AMX 1, Heat 1. Here we go. There's the blue lines, and let's see them go racing. Good start there from Garcia there. On the outside doing really well, and lap 1's away. Car 22 staying low, and he's going to try and stay there, and he's just going to get absolutely swamped by the teammates on the top there. Car 5 and 7 doing really well there. Gaioso there, just on the outside there. He's actually got no slipstream, but I don't think he needs it. Look at the run he's got. Connor Healy getting past as well.
Oh, Villarreal is in a really tight spot right now because he didn't actually get into the draft of everyone. Look at these cars, 4 in a line, getting into each other's slipstream. But Villarreal, he's actually stuck out quite far behind. Going to catch up soon, and it's going to be a train coming up to the end of the first lap. Right now, we'll just have to see whoever decides to break the formation and go for the slingshot.
Yeah, Villa could get a good run here because he's got that massive train here in front of him. So if he gets a big slingshot, he could definitely do it. And look at, oh! I think we just saw someone cut out there. So we'll see if there's any carnage here with someone cutting out. But we're going to ride on board with Gaioso here, just leading the way, and his teammate actually right behind him. Let's see if his teammate actually pushes him along. No, car number 5, Rago doesn't push him, but he's just going to sit there and be a nice teammate to him. And Rago's going to stay nice and low here. And Garcia coming back into the lobby there, and he's actually dropped down to 4th there. So he might have just backed out of the throttle just so he didn't hit any of our drivers here. And Rago on screen here. And we saw him, he's been doing really well in this series. So if he can keep Connor Healy behind him by a good 2 spots, that would be a very big victory for him tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see Garcia and Healy have been trading spots a bit over the course of the last 2 laps right now. They're trying to get into each other's slipstream, not really giving an opportunity. And at this point in time, what really matters for them is how they take the corners. If you lift off a bit too much, you end up losing quite a lot of speed. You scrub it off, and then gives them, everyone else an opportunity to catch up. Villarreal, they're still stuck, lagging slightly behind the train, unable to make a pass happen. Waiting to see if it might be a bump drive for Rago into Gaioso to give him a bit of an edge in terms of speed. But here comes Garcia. He's right on the tail of both of the cars.
Yeah, Garcia, we can see there how to run, but he's backed out of it. Connor Healy was there too. So if Garcia gets a run, he should just put his foot down, see what happens. You know, experiment what he can do with these cars because, you know, if he can experiment with Connor Healy, this could be a good little train. So does he go low here? No, he's going to stay high. But 27 laps, so he's got a long time to do this. You know, we see these guys, you know, kind of settling into a rhythm. Villa, sorry. in a bit of a rhythm here, just sitting behind. We talked about before, just, you know, he could get a big slingshot onto these guys, but he's just going to sit there nice and patiently. It's a bit of a patient driver. I've noticed. Oh, you can see there on the steering wheel having a bit of a wobble there. And he's on the Formula rim as well, so... oh, we can see Garcia going low, and his teammates actually have to go high there, which is Rago. So, the teammates are actually going too wide here, so... where does Connor Healy sit in this matter? Oh, he's actually going to go low with Garcia. Garcia's going to stay low with him. So here's two trains. This is such a good camera angle from our awesome people in the background. They're going to ride on board here, and look at this. Villa just staying in the back here. Doesn't do much. I would be following through Garcia and Connor Healy. He's just going to sit there. Oh, here comes the run, actually. Villa just driving on the back of him now.
Guy also in front of him did get Thanos stamped for a little bit there, but he's back in time. Villarreal tries to make his move, does take the pass onto Connor Healy. Will he be able to make it stick? He was pulling out beside him, but ended up lifting off on the throttle for a bit, so he does lose a bit of position right now, and he's still lagging a little bit behind. But with the way that we saw on the bumper cam, the way he looked at those four cars, like he was waiting for a mistake to happen, and with the way these guys are racing, that could very likely happen within the next few laps or so.
It definitely could do. With 1,700 kilos, wouldn't take much just to bump someone, and that would be it. So, yeah, Villa just sitting there nice and patiently. Like I said, the 27 laps, and we're going to count down another lap here, going on to lap 7 here. And Connor Healy, he's in second place, obviously, with the championship. So I would really expect him to really make something really outrageous here tonight. Try and make a move on, you know, the second race or the first race to get a position done. Oh, Rago hitting the wall. Villa moving out as well. But, oh, Garcia's actually got a run on the outside. Villa just hitting the wall. I wouldn't actually mind a small replay of that in the bottom right. That would be epic, because he just went up and just went whack straight into the wall. So he's going to have a bit of damage, and he's out of the tow now. So that's down to 4 cars now. Garcia getting a position out of that. Rago is going to have to deal with that little bit of damage. And these teammates are not together. But this is an opportunity for Connor Healy to do something. What do you think, Dom?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Uncharacteristic mistake from Villarreal to crash into the wall. I think he might have misjudged the steering input there just a little bit. But now Garcia is stuck in between the two Argentinians. See if he's able to get out of it, or even slingshot pass right now. It does seem to be carrying a little bit more speed than Galloso there because of the slipstream. But here comes Rago, a little bit of a bump from him.
That was a bit scary. Galloso trying to get a run onto this back straight and get around Galloso, because he knows he's stuck at this point. You know, if Rago goes for a move, Galloso's going to go the other side, and he's going to be in a sandwich. So he knows he needs to do something now and fast and smooth. So here he comes, Rago up the inside. Look at this. See, I knew that was going to happen. The teammates are trying to work together. Huge contact.
He's gone flying.
Huge contact on the banking there. Huge crash at Talladega here tonight. Rago just having a bit of contact there with Galloso there. Not Galloso, Garcia just having huge contact there. That was huge.
Yeah, we're gonna need a replay of that in just a bit, just to see what happened. I mean, we knew what happened. We saw it with our own eyes what happened. But of course, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I guess the Talladega curse is happening right now for Garcia here. Having to stuck in the pits, go for repairs. This race is probably completely out of the question for him.
We just saw it at the bottom. I just saw it in the bottom of the chat, said WTF in live chat. Huge crash there, and you see the people in the background putting some words in there, which is fair enough. That was a huge crash. But getting the chat guys typing away, we can definitely see it, and yeah, it's good to see. So we'll comment and have a bit of a chat when we have a bit of peace and quiet. But here we go, top 3 battle. So we saw Villa before, you know, he hit a wall, back down and stuff, and stuff like now. But now he's in the top 3. This is easy money for him. You know, he doesn't really need to do much in this situation. He's probably going to let go, and Healy just battle it out. He's probably thought, well, I'm in the top 3. I don't need to do anything. I can sit here and chill. And I reckon that's what he might do. And have a look at this. Rygo trying to rejoin the track with a teammate of his in Gayoso's teammate. And I was just thinking if Rygo could get onto the back of him, and I don't think he will. But yeah, if Rygo could get in front and pull Gayoso along, that would be the move to do. But I don't think it's going to happen. Healy going nice and high, trying to get the run. Will Villa cut under? No, he won't. He's going to back out of it. Riding on board with right side of the car, actually on the wheel. So actually, we might just sit here for a bit, David. Let's go for a lap on Villa's car, right?
Yeah, let's do that actually, because right now we all were in a bit of a low state. Now, as I say that, Connor Healy is just trying to make a move that, but Villarreal's coming on the top bar, on the top bank.
I was going to say, it's going to be quiet for a lap or two. You know, maybe this is a good time. No. I was wrong. Oh, contact Gayoso on the wall, and Healy goes by. Look at him on the top line, and he's going to get it done. Villa comes through as well. The Argentinian just goes flying past, and Healy is just going to take the lead. The Aussie is going to absolutely loving life at the moment. Car 98 has taken the lead on lap 12, going on lap 13.
It's kind of difficult to see exactly whether that was a mistake or whether he was feeling pressured from the race here. Gayoso, they're trying to make up for lost time, is right now back on the bumper of Connor Healy. Villarreal is still just hanging around for the back end. We've seen this over the course of the past 12 laps. It's just waiting for a mistake to happen and capitalizing on it, which I think is a pretty sound strategy, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, we've been kind of talking about strategy this whole time. We saw Gayoso just push the car a little bit too much, drift up wide, and that was it. You know, he had that little bit of contact with the wall, and that gives Connor Healy the opportunity that he needs, and that's what he wanted. Connor Healy getting pushed along by Gayoso. Villa just sitting there nice and calmly. I think in the back of Connor Healy's mind, he's kind of got to remember, okay, Villa's not going to do anything drastic, so maybe I should do something that's going to, you know, keep me in front. And well, I say that Villa's just having a look, seeing what everyone's doing, seeing what the movement's like. You know, maybe he's just like, if I do something drastic, keeping the lead, this could be the race that I win. Moving on to heat 2 maybe.
Yeah, and putting himself into great position for race 1 will pretty much ensure that he starts in the same position in heat 2. So he could probably just run this whole shindig all over again and have the same results. Of course, now they're in the 3-car train there. Villarreal is putting the pressure on Gayoso, trying to stay in the draft, and also out-accelerating him in certain points of the track. Gayoso that might have suffered a little bit of damage when he bumped the wall.
I think he might have, because last time I was racing here with a bunch of mates that were all, you know, 5-6k and I rating when it comes to these ovals, I did notice if you did hit the wall, you do get quite a bit of damage with these cars. So I reckon he could be struggling, Gayoso. So we're going to see Villa just bumping on the back straight here, and Villa would be quite happy at this point because we do see him up the front normally in the AMX ones, but not this far up. I reckon he'd be pretty happy with this at the moment. And we can see here with his amazing beard, by the way, Damon. How good is the beard?
Aside from the interior color, a pretty good view actually. I think Villarreal is going to be really happy because he got up to 3rd place and almost didn't really do anything on his part. Yeah,
didn't really need to do much, did he? So running on lap 16 at the moment, and yeah, I think he might just do the same tactics as before. And listen to this noise of this car. What a sensational car. 650 horsepower, American horsepowers. We don't know if all 650 horsepower is still there, but we'll just trust that all 650 is there.
Does seem like it, otherwise I don't think they'll be going that fast right now. These cars are pushing about 330 kilometers an hour, which is insanely quick, especially for the time period. In fact, I think the top speed record on Talladega is about 340-ish kilometers an hour.
Wow. Oh! We're talking about the wall. Villa's just hit the wall again. He's gonna be like, oh, not again. But he's tapped it twice, but yeah, you can see the tyres starting to come into effect now. And he's going to be running this low line. I reckon he might just bring back how much he's going to push that car for the next couple of laps. Kind of Healy, though, talking about pushing, is doing really well here, just trying to get the run. And he's going to be trying to stay where he is. And we're going to get a bit of a replay here. Kevin Garcia's crash that we saw, that was absolutely sensational. So let's have a look at it. BenQ replay.
BenQ replay, you can see here. Bravo tapping the back of Garcia's car, putting him into a pit maneuver and sending both of them off track. However, Garcia gets another bump and then swings all the way around the other side. And then he just slides into the wall, and at this speed, there is no getting out of that.
Yeah, he had pretty much nothing the time he got hit twice again. That was about it. Have a look at this though. Villa is on the inside, and he's going to take the second place. Does he go for the run for Connor Healy? No, he's not going to do it. But we did see them working together from before, so maybe he's thinking, oh, never mind. Villa just pushing him to that tiny little bit, and Connor Healy getting a run. But Gayo, so he's going to stay on the top, and he's going to get a run. Let's have a look at this. Oh, he's not going to pull out. He knows better. He's backed out of it, so did see the run there. But Damon, what would you do in this situation? Would you just go for it, or would you kind of sit there?
Honestly, with the way that I know I drive, which is extremely aggressive and almost lacking in patience, I probably would have tried to make the move as soon as possible. But I didn't want to be particularly worried about that. Right now, you can see the pass there. He goes low, cuts off Gayoso on the inside of the bank right now, and just makes that pass happen quite cleanly. I also can't do anything to reply to that right now, and now he's being left behind by the train of Connor Healy and Diego.
Yeah, at this point, we talked about the whole slipstream thing with Villa being out of there for a bit, and Rago was, if you get out of that slipstream, you pretty much like you can't really do much, like, because if you got a train going, they're just going that fast and working together that you just can't catch them. So Villa here actually pushing Connor Healy. I was going to say, if he pushed Connor Healy just that little bit, he probably could have gotten away there. But I think Gayoso is actually trying to get a run on him. I think that's what his plan is, and I reckon it could work.
Still trying to get an opportunity to make a bump draft happen. Of course, in the turns, probably not the best idea to do so, but he can see he's speeding up there. These cars are going extremely fast, around 340 kilometers an hour, which with a car this old is an extremely scary spot. And yes, for those of you in chat who are wondering, yes, Diego's car is a Breaking Bad reference. Of course, Los Pollos Hermanos, the name of the fried chicken restaurant that is very popular in the series.
You know, you'll be shocked about this one. I've watched Breaking Bad, but I've only watched a couple of episodes. Would you recommend it?
Would I recommend breathing? Yes.
I love it. That's yeah. So that's what I'm watching tonight. But I have been watching the F1 series, so I'll get back to Breaking Bad. But here we go. But yeah, keep typing in chat, guys. We love it. It's quite funny, and obviously with AMX 10 as well. Text away, guys. And Villa at the moment is just sitting there. I think he's kind of went, well, Connor Healy, he's got this championship. Maybe if I turn him, that wouldn't be a good idea. Or, you know, if we make contact, that wouldn't be a good friend or a good enemy to make with, or anything like that. But I know all these guys are pretty friendly. So Villa just staying on the bottom, and Connor Healy just sitting nice and strong out there, moving around a little bit, trying to move the air around a little bit. And look how close they get to that wall, Damon. Like, millimeters off it. It's almost like the wall at the top of Mount Panorama when you go up through the go up to the top of the hill. You got the top of the hill, and there's basically a wall you got to get mills off, or you're not doing it right. It gives me a lot of those vibes. But these guys doing really well there.
Yeah, definitely. Mount Panorama is one of the scariest tracks I've ever been on. Especially driving it at night is crazy terrifying because of how narrow that line on the top of the mountain is hill, not mountain, hill. Is it a mountain?
It's a mountain. The thing is huge. I was going to say, obviously, it's great talking opportunity about that. Obviously, we just had the 12-hour, a couple of hours ago, and have a look at this. Where's this come from, guys? So just taking second like it was with ease. That was with ease. We saw the run, but we didn't really see it fully. But yeah, like obviously the 12 hours just happened recently, so I wonder if these guys have done it. Obviously, with Connor Healy having some very, very, very good teammates. Obviously, working with Altus Australia. Altus. Always said Altus Australia. My apologies. But Connor Healy, I wonder if he did it. So maybe he could be a bit tired from that. But still, well, he's got Gayoso here. 2 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't have long, so this is when you start to tighten up, you start to clench into the corners. You don't want to use those tyres too much. You want to wait until those last laps to use the tyres, and I reckon that's what Gayoso's done. Look at that. Look at the Gayoso just being right on the back of the bumper there. He's done a good lift there. He's taken that apex really nicely from Gayoso, and he's going to drive on the exit. And look at the Chevy badge on that thing, and it's getting closer and closer to that, to the back of Connor Healy's car here. I reckon if Gayoso got any closer, I think we'd be seeing stuff that we wouldn't want to see. Ooh, we just saw a little bit of flicker there. That's a bit scary. If Gayoso saw that, I don't think he would appreciate that one bit. But have a look at this. Does he go for the run? He could do it. I reckon he's got the run. No, he's going to stay there. I reckon he's going to wait until last lap, which we will be going on to very shortly. We're into turn 4. Oh, look at the dive. Connor Healy's given the room on the outside. Connor Healy trying to get the run onto the main straight here. And he has a bit of a slide up the top. We just saw Connor Healy moving around. Last lap, white flag, it's out. So let's see these guys at Villa, Connor Healy, and Gayoso here go for last time for Heat 1. White flag, and here we go. Villa working with Healy there. Healy trying to get the run though. Look at this, up high. Does it go low? I reckon he's too far back to get the run. I could be wrong. I think I'm wrong. Gayoso going low, high. He's trying to move up. Villa's staying in the straight line though. Villa might get the run. Connor Healy. Oh, contact!
Oh no! He bolted it for both of them.
And Villa.
And just like that.
Oh my God, Diego. Villa is going to take this home with he's waving. He knows what just happened. Diego, what a win, mate. And he's going to take that home. And I reckon he'd be pretty chuffed with that. Typical NASCAR Talladega. Huge crashes on the last lap. And he's going to take sweet, sweet little prize home and taking the win there too.
Amazing. He literally just did all the stuff he needed to do, was just sit there, make sure he didn't mess up, get everyone to mess up in his place, and somehow it worked.
Just saw in the chat. I knew it in the chat. I didn't think if someone's predicted that is amazing. But yeah, what a great little race there. Heat 1, AMX 1 to Talladega 87s. The results will be pulled up shortly. But Diego, what a race, mate. We only have 5 cars, but that was sensational.
Oh, that was amazingly intense. We had another 5-car grid on Tuesday as well, and Villarreal was part of that grid as well. And even then, we had some pretty intense racing. So don't let anyone tell you that a small grid isn't fun to watch.
Definitely, and we'll go through the list here. So Diego, Gayoso, Healy, Rago, and Garcia on in our top 5, and I reckon he'd be pretty happy with that. I don't think he's got a win yet, but I could be wrong. Put the comments in the chat, guys. Let me know what's going on. I've been here every round for the AMX 1 NASCAR, but I can't remember off the top of my head. There's been quite a few at this point, and we're in the 2nd month, moving on to the 3rd month, so we're getting closer and closer to the finish, but I don't think anyone wants this to finish. We've been loving AMX Global. Guys, if you want to come race here, search up amxglobal.com. Come check us out. You can hear my annoying voice every Saturday, Sunday if I'm on, there's heaps of commentators, and we've got heaps coming on, like Damon here. Good to have him on board. So, Damon, what do you reckon this start will be like? Let's reverse it. You asked me last time. I'll ask you this time.
Honestly, I think people, most of the drivers are just realizing right now that I think they'll be pushing a little bit too hard, especially at the very end there with Connor just giving Gayoso a love tap there and causing both of them to just drop positions, which is something that both of them don't want. And I think it might affect how they drive in this next race. However, Villarreal here was probably the most consistent driver out of all of them here, so I wouldn't be surprised if he somehow manages to pull exactly the same thing as he did Heat 1, capitalize on his opponent's mistakes, and then take the win again. But let's hope it doesn't come to that, because I want to see some nice clean racing. Admittedly, I wouldn't be opposed to maybe a crash or two, but I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Oh, you sure? But we're gonna get Heat 2, we're going to start here. Pace car's still in lead. But yeah, I think it was a good little race. I think Connor Healy just forced the issue a little bit too much. Instant, no big dramas, but he will take P3. But if he got the P1 though, that would be some solid points. Obviously, Rago having a bit of an issue there. Here we go. The pace car's been pulled off, and for the last time for AMX 1, Heat 2. I'm going to say this, and I'm sure every American's probably going to cringe when I say this, an Aussie saying it, but I'm going to say it. When we get up to the blue little line under the bottom, which is coming up in about 3, 2, 1. There it is. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Here we go, racing. And I wanted to say that for a bit. I did say it last time. Oh! Garcia just not getting
that wasn't a great run.
We just saw I reckon he was in first, hit second. I reckon he tried to get into third, and I reckon he's probably went fourth. So he's had to dump the clutch, try and get it back into third, and he's just dropped all those positions. And I'm seeing a bit of a trend here with, obviously, the last race we saw these two teammates out in front, and they're actually going to go too wide and try and block these guys off. We're going to do a full teammate tactics here. So Gayoso and Rago going to be too wide, and Rago would want some points back, obviously, with that last race not doing too well, and he's going to sit in second like last time. And Gayoso just on top, and Rago has actually got a penalty. Obviously, we saw Garcia having that issue with trying to get into gear there, so he's actually getting a penalty from passing, which is really unfortunate. That's it's such a hard thing to say, right? Like, you can't go. It's not Rago's fault, but at the same time, if you didn't pass him, you're going to get a penalty. So it's a bit of a back and forth thing. But let us know in the comments, guys, what you think. But here we go, guys. So we saw this battle last time, so let's see if there's no contact this time. Garcia, though, I would say he'd want a little win. I'd say he wants a little bit of taste of victory in P3 at the moment. Villa, obviously being in the back there, we saw him last time get the win. So let's watch this again for 27 laps. Lap 2, we're coming on to 3 now.
Okay, so Rago is almost pretty much out unless, of course, a catastrophic mistake happens from any of these drivers right now. Again, unfortunate circumstances for him. Villarreal, again, using his tactic of biding his time, waiting for a mistake to happen, and then striking at the perfect opportunity. Garcia now having to lift off a little bit. He'll be left behind in the train, but giving Villarreal a bit of a draft for both of them to keep up to the back of the pack. Connor Healy actually letting off of the throttle a little bit there to make it into the corner, giving them even more time to catch up. So now we have a 3-car train. I don't particularly know where Gayoso is. I think he might also be, yeah, there you go, 4-car train. Was that start legal, says one of the comments. Well, it's unfortunate if you pass someone before you cross the finish line, but here we go. Garcia making his move. Connor Healy just letting him in through as he goes high. Villarreal there going a little bit faster. Bumped him a little bit, I think, and somehow Garcia saved it.
I think all the American blood was pumping through him there. We saw that save. That was an awesome save. Now Connor Healy's going to have to try and get on the back and not lose that slipstream. Garcia, though, trying to make a move, and we see Gayoso moving around, trying to get that slipstream off his teammate, which is Rago. Obviously, we saw him get that penalty, and if it's legal, yeah, it's a bit of a controversial thing, but we'll leave it to Ash Stewards and the FIA to let them figure it out. But He served the penalty, so he's probably going to just take home P5 unless something else happens to one of these beautiful drivers. Garcia though, P2, not bad, not bad. Garcia leading kind of helium VRL, using teamwork as a bit of a tool here. And we can see the rear bumper of Connor Healy's car, and Viril just doing really well there.
Yeah, Villarreal is trying to stay inside the draft right now of Connor Healy as they're catching up to the train right now. Villarreal is going high to see if he can make something happen on the exit there. He's still trying to catch up to Connor Healy right now. And both of them rejoining the train will take a bit of time, but I think they'll be doing it just fine. And honestly, as we've seen last race, being in the train is probably the most dangerous part of being oval racing.
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I think you're correct with that one actually. Yeah, I do like that. It's oval racing's a whole different. Like, it's almost like a whole different thing, isn't it? Like, we are, as a road racer, I drive a lot of V8 supercars, GT3s, prototypes. That's kind of my area, and a lot of my mates have gotten into ovals recently, and I thought, you know, it'd be easy to do. It's not that hard, but seriously, when you get out there, you're like, this is so different. Like, we obviously seen so many people, you know, go into NASCAR. We've seen dirt drivers getting into NASCAR. We saw SVG just moved to NASCAR recently. So there's a lot of people starting to go to NASCAR and go, this sport is insane and I love it. So it's good to see the sport getting a lot of traction. And I'm looking forward to see what their future's like, because it's looking very promising at the moment.
Yeah, agreed. And of course, yeah, these cars are actually faster than F1 cars. And good call out there from one of the comments there. At these speeds, it's so important that you just keep the car under control, because, again, as I mentioned before, these cars are old. They're super old. They don't have a ton of downforce. They've got good aero, but at the same time, it's kind of like good aero and a live rear axle. I wouldn't drive one. I'd be too scared.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of weight though, so I feel like that balances it out. I think that's why they've put so much weight in these cars. 1,700 kilos. Like, for reference, an F1 car would weigh about 900 kilos, if I'm wrong. I think the older versions was like 700 kilos, which is just stupid at that point. But you know, these cars are very heavy for a race car. I mean, what's another number? A GT3 is 1,500 kilos. So it's a bit of an interesting number. It's not too heavy, but it's heavy for a race car. That's almost hatchback like territory for a car. Anyway.
Oh no! What's that?
Got a Healy getting turned. Oh, and he saved it. No way! What a save! He wouldn't be happy with that because he's not in slipstream. Villa, knowing what he's done there, he's just trying to bump him in the corner, and that's so unfortunate. But the teammates, we can see here, they're actually working together. They've figured out how to get him to be P1 and P2 on track. Rago backing out of it. Gaius, so they're on the bottom though. So did they try and do too wide and try and not let Garcia through? You know, obviously we've got Garcia that, like I said, he'd be hungry for the victory. You know, he had such for him, a disappointing race for him. So he needs to kind of lock in and just go, I'm just going to go for the win at this point. Got nothing to lose.
Yeah, but right now they're in a very disadvantageous position because of how far behind they are from the rest of the train. We're at almost 5 seconds separating Garcia and Healy right now, which is almost I'm trying to find the words to describe it. Gargantuan gap is the thing that comes to mind when it comes to this. So barring any mistakes at all, there's almost no way they'll be able to keep up with the front of the pack. So this is kind of a really bad spot for them.
It's a hard one for Connor Healy. Like, he needs to somehow find that time there. But if these guys battle, Connor Healy could be on. So, but for Garcia, he's going, okay, do I make a move, lose heaps of time, bring Connor Healy back into it? Or do I just stick here and go, I'm just going to chill in second place, or last lap go for a win?
I think what he's probably planning is... I have to flinch every time someone taps the wall because you just don't know what's going to happen with these cars.
Yeah, you never know, do you? You know, these cars are so... you don't know what's really happening. Oh, got it for third as well in the bottom right. We've seen this camera a lot in the AMX 10 because obviously we go to so many tracks that are so big. We go to tracks like Spa that are 6 kilometers, you know, long. So you've got to have that second camera, and there it is there. So, oh! That's not ideal. Villa straight into the wall, and that car is absolutely broken. There's no way that car is straight. And that's going to bring Rago back into it, actually. That might give him a free position. So the Breaking Bad car is going to be damaged up, and he can't lose time here, and I reckon he will. Oh, that's so disappointing.
Under control.
Just huge slides. He's going to try and take no tyres. And I reckon Rago's going to get a free spot off this. Obviously being a lap down, being in the trend, but Connor Healy's completely out of this. Look at the time, 8 seconds. I think that's almost 9 now. Yeah, that's almost 9 now. So it's just, yeah, that's so disappointing. You know, just a little bit of contact, and there goes the whole race. So, and we're going to go to a full replay here. But great partners here. NQ replay.
All right, so here we go.
There's not even nothing to that. I thought, you know, a bit of contact with the other, you know, Connor Healy, but no, it's just he smacked the wall so hard, rebounded off the wall, went about 600 meters to the left and smacked into the other wall. So, I would actually, you know, it'd be so cool. Obviously, we have these huge replays. It'd be so cool if we saw their replay of their camera and just see like this huge reaction of like the oversteer, then the understeer, and look at that. Like, what a save, man. It's just drifting a good 200 meters there on the slide with 600 horsepower, and he's done it again. Villa doing really well there, getting back to the pits, and he's going to pull up to the pits now. Thank you, Ben Q, for the replay. That was awesome.
Unfortunately, right now, I think that's pretty much the race out of Diego's hands. Rago hasn't been able to actually make too much of... Oh, no, that was Gayoso trying to pass him there. Ended up tapping the wall, losing the speed, scrubbing off the speed, giving Garcia a little bit of time to catch up right now.
Yeah, he's got a bit of time to gain, but that's a very, 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 very good opportunity there. So he's only 7/10 back. So he's in slipstream, like massively. Like I think the slipstream would be 1.5, I reckon, because like you got to think of how big these cars are and how much air they would be pushing. You know, it's like they're so boxy. It almost looks like. It looks like a new gen Mustang. Like that's how wide and big these things are. Like they're just so fat almost. I think that's probably the best word to use. So pushing a lot of air. So it'd be a lot. So on the back here now, the fellow countryman is he's definitely in this now. Race is never over until the fat lady sings, as the saying goes. So on the back straight now, and we're going to take another lap. Onto lap 17, and look at the smoke on the inside there in the infield. And Rago's going to take a free spot, as we mentioned, in the 4th spot. And Villa's just going to park it up, I reckon. And yeah, it's so unfortunate, wasn't it, Damon? Like he just went up, hit the wall, and it was such a big reaction. So it's been unfortunate, but we'll just. He just had to deal with it and go to the pits.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate race for him. But he can take solace in the fact that he did win Heat 1, so he's not going to go back empty-handed, of course. I think he's probably one of the big winners as well. He ended up with about maybe $10 in the purse for him, which is a pretty good rate, which is a pretty good reward. Actually, even just showing up is considered a pretty good reward, especially because you only have 5 cars and we're giving prize money to top 15. So just being in the top 5 is a pretty good spot to be in.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said about $10. That's $10 American too. So it's not bad. That's some solid money. I think you would. I was talking to one of the organisers from AMX, who is TJ, an amazing guy to deal with. He said it's actually quite funny because people go, "Oh, I'll do AMX 10 because there's more money involved." But when you think about it, if you did one of these races, you would actually probably earn a little bit more money if you just keep cleaning this, because in an AMX 10 race you can get taken out or something can go wrong, and it's kind of funny because people go, "Oh, I'll just do the AMX 10 one," but I really recommend to come and drive the AMX ones and give it a shot. I haven't done it yet, but I will try and plan to do one in the future. But yeah, talking about AMX 10, that is coming up, and after this race, which don't go away after the break, and we'll be doing a bit of GT3 action. But for right now, 87's at Talladega, and we'll be going on to lap 20. Does Garcia take the opportunity and go for the dive, or go for the opportunity? That's the big question on our minds at the moment, and it'll be quite interesting to see what the movements are like for the next 7 laps going on now. And Damon, I'll just let you talk for this next lap, mate, and see what your opinions are.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I really don't have any much more to add from what you just said. Of course, these next couple of laps will be relatively peaceful until we get to the penultimate lap and the final lap, because that's usually where you want to make a big move happen if you have the opportunity to. Rago here been giving draft Gaioso for the whole race, which is really such a good, like, in first place you normally don't have the ability to get a draft, which leaves you open for overtaking maneuvers. But if you have a teammate like this stuck in the back of the pack, the least he can do is give you a bit of opportunity, give you a bit of an advantage to stay in the lead. And Garcia knows this. He doesn't have as much of an advantage compared to if Rago was not there providing the slipstream.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree with you. Like, Rago has probably done the best thing out of this whole thing. He's went, okay, I'm in a bad situation, but I'm going to help a teammate. He could have pulled it up and that would have been him. But he's went, no, I'm going to help my teammate get the win. And that's what the plan is. And I was going to say, I just saw in the chat, which, guys, catch me up on this one, but what are you talking about Nissans, by the way? Nissans in racing and NASCAR? Question mark.
Okay, so
interesting.
I think we can talk about the manufacturers that are currently racing in NASCAR this season. Okay, so there's Ford, there's Chevy, Toyota is also Toyota, which of course is Japanese, so I can understand. I don't think Nissan has ever taken part in NASCAR.
No,
yeah, I'm looking through the grid right now. Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't think they've ever. It's quite interesting. They've got Toyota, but yeah, like Nissan and Mercedes. I wonder if they would ever go, okay, let's put some focus into NASCAR. Because let's be honest, they're making some pretty good revenue at the moment with most of the world tuning in now, with so many drivers being a bit international, like some of those drivers I talked about, Jenson Button, Kimi Räikkönen actually doing a couple of rounds. So I'm sure Kimi's going to do a couple of rounds this year as well. Why wouldn't you? If you had an opportunity to go, okay, you can race Dakota for one round, I would be going, where do I sign? So yeah, it's a quite an interesting thing. So I look, like I said, I'm looking forward to the progress, because the manufacturer side of it could be very interesting. But for now, we're going to watch 2 Chevs, and I think that's a Buick, like you said last time. So, see the Buick up there? Buick's such an old
no,
brand.
That's a Pontiac, I think. Yeah.
Oh, well, apologies then. So the Pontiac, I was going to say, Pontiac and Buick is such an old brand, isn't it? You just don't hear about that anymore. it's kind of like, I remember being young and hearing that name a lot, but now it's like, Toyota, Chev, Mustang. But yeah, Pontiac kind of drifting off in the distance, which is quite sad. Going on to lap 25, 2 laps to go for this one. So this is where we're going to start talking about the race and not talking about manufacturer. But it's such a great thing to talk about. Talking about that, join our Discord at AMX Global. Come join that and talk some crap. There's always good crap to talk about in AMX Global. I was talking to Aaron, the 11K driver, about a contact that I had the other week. So yeah, it's great. It's great to chat with all the guys. So if you want to come chat to some pretty amazing drivers, come join the Discord at AMX Global on the website, and probably you can find it on Chrome or anywhere else. And that's quite interesting. We got a blinker, and I think that was that Gayoso? I think that was Gayoso.
No, that was Rago. Rago is linking in and out of existence right now.
Oh, okay. So, lap 26 to 27, we're going to go white flag next time, but Kevin just doesn't look like he's going to make a move. Because he kind of goes, well, there's 2 teammates. Are they really going to let me through? Have a look at that. I think that's Gayoso actually moving around. I think that actually could be, because Rago on the leaderboard is not moving around, so Connor Healy actually getting lapped as well in P3. Oh, look at the blink.
Oh, I think he might have disconnected.
Oh. No,
no, there he is. He's back.
Oh, this is... Oh, I feel bad because can you imagine blinking? You're on a white flag now and you just be going, come on, just don't disconnect the Wi-Fi. Come on, just hold in there. It's like a bolt getting loose in your car and you're like, just don't brake. But Kevin Garcia here, he looks like he's going to set up a run, but he's going to get around 2 people, and I don't reckon it will happen, but let's see if he will. The countryman, the American, got the blimp head overhead in the bottom right. Oh, he's backed out of it. Does he go under? No. Oh, you might get a massive run here, though. Have a look at the run. Yeah, oh, I don't think he's got enough, but we'll have a look. White flag on the checker. Last race for AMX. And what a great race to finish out for AMX1. Garcia P2 and Gayoso in P1 and Healy, and then the other one, which I can't see the name, but we'll go to results. And after that, have a look at that, Garcia just getting turned around by Rago there. What a great race.
Yeah, great race all around. Unfortunate for some of the drivers there, got put into a situation that they really didn't want to be in. But all things considered, pretty clean race coming from the top 3 right now. And well, I'm trying to find words right now. It's quite late. It's 3 a.m. My brain's just trying to figure out what I want to say when it comes to this race. But regardless of that, congratulations to Guy also for winning Heat 2. Congratulations to Villarreal for winning Heat 1. And Connor Healy 100%. Also didn't walk away a complete loser. He didn't get the best time in qualifying, so he's going to end up with some good prize money on his own as well. So here we go on the leaderboard. Gayoso is the winner of Heat 2, with Garcia right behind him, Connor Healy in 3rd place, Rago in 4th, Diego Villarreal in 5th with a DNF, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, you talk about that. I think he would be a bit annoyed with himself because there was 2 opportunities and it almost just went to the win. So I think it'd be a bit of a win-lose for Connor Healy tonight. But yeah, really good showing from all of them. And Gayoso was on form tonight, so good to see. And we're going to go into AMX 10 coming up. So don't go anywhere, guys. You're going to see our beautiful faces right now. So hello. But but you guys will we'll go for a quick break after this, and we'll see you guys in a bit.
You can check our socials down there. Oh, it's gone now.
to save our home. We must travel through the gateway to find new energy.
Hello and welcome back to AMX Global Season 4. You are coming with us right now as we get into AMX 10 here in Donington Park, where we'll be racing with the GT3 class cars. I am, of course, Damon, your commentator for tonight, and I am joined here, of course, by Connor, who was here with me earlier on for the day.
Hello.
Okay. Alright, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the race itself, we gotta do a little bit of housekeeping, and of course, I'm excited. We're both excited for the races tonight. So, without further ado, I think we can go straight into the housekeeping. AMX Global League Season 4 started on the 27th of January, will run all the way until April 21st with a prize pool of about $20,000 as well as some next level gear. Our race format is as follows. We have a 20-minute qualifier before every race. The fastest lap of the qualifier will be starting at the top at P15 on the grid, as we're doing a reverse grid format for the first heat. The first heat, of course, will last around 20 minutes, and the race results from that will then be used in a reverse grid order for the next heat, which is also another 20-minute race. So we're about to see some pretty intense action coming along later on. Coming up next, of course, we get to see driver cams are, of course, required on the Zoom call while the drivers are racing. Payout will be given to the drivers once their purse reaches over $100, and it'll be paid out every month. Our race days are on Tuesdays, Saturday, and Sunday, and you can sign up to race with us at any time, even before the race begins at amxrace.com. So you want to register like 10 minutes before the qualifier starts? Go right ahead. You can do that. Our schedule is based on Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. So AMX 1 will be held every Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday at 5:50 p.m., while AMX 10 will happen a little bit later at 7:20 p.m. Now, our prize pool will be different for AMX 10. Of course, it will be a little bit higher stakes compared to AMX 1. First place for qualifiers and both races will get $30, and the prize will keep going down all the way until 15th place, where you get $2. There is a bonus for the fastest lap in both races of $4 for the racer. You need a minimum I rating of 2,000, and we will pay out a total of $500 per race, including qualifiers. So we can look at the top 12 leaderboards right now. We have Gale Valero. He's taken part in 11 races and won one. Scored relatively highly in all the other races. So you can see as of now he has a purse of $474, followed by Aaron Vasquez, who's raced in 8 races but won 3 of them, which gives him a pretty nice purse of $392. Kieran Harrison in 3rd place, Tino Felipa in 4th, Florentin Guinez in 5th, Jackson Rezende in 6th, Gaston Prestaculavi in 7th, Fabio Zamperlini in 8th, Toby Soriano in 9th, Juan Blenat in 10th, Peter Zuba in 11th, and Simon Demori in 12th place. So your top 12 all have pretty high purses right now, but anything could change. And if we go over to our total leaderboards, Juan Blenat is actually in 2nd place right now at 123 points. Now you can see here, we do have a special surprise provided to those in the leaderboards. Our current first position goes to Aaron Vasquez with 242 points. So quite a considerable gap between him and the rest of the field. Now, our current promotions running are as follows. We have a D3 promotion, which means that if you buy into the race before 3 days before the race actually starts, you get 30% off. This includes every race in the calendar. So if you decide last minute you want to sign up, you can actually get a bit of a discount for joining in. We do also have season tickets. We have these tickets are basically your entry pass into every race of the calendar if you decide to take part. And you get 50% off the entry fee as well. Alright, I'm going to hand it over to Connor because we're going to be talking about the track and the cars that will be running in this class. So Connor, take it away.
Thanks, Damon. That was great, mate. I was going to say, what a beautiful track we've been at the last couple of rounds. And this one's up on the list. So this is Donington Park. This is in the UK, in England, opened in 1931. It was a bit of a track that I didn't really like at the start, but I really love now. It's 4Ks long, and it's just a great track. A lot of flowing corners, but a lot of hairpins as well, which will be great for these cars, which is what we're racing tonight, which we'll flick over to next, which are quite enjoyable around here. Good for Formula cars too around here. Now, this is the car we're driving that has been hyped about. Is the GT3 car. This is a very known car. These things just raced at the Bathurst 12 hour, and they race at a lot of tracks like the Spa 24. They're very known at the moment, and yeah, it's a great car to drive. So they're 500 horsepower to 600 horsepower, rear wheel drive, 1200 kilos to 300 kilos, sequential gearbox with the paddles. Very good car around here. So there should be a little bit of door banging around here, and it should be a good race tonight, especially coming up to T1. Try and use that traction control to get out of the corners and use that ABS to get the car stopped.
And thanks a lot, Connor. And now we can jump straight into qualifying. Of course, these cars are a different league of their own compared to the NASCARs that we saw in AMX1 earlier. So we can jump straight into qualifying, see what the drivers now have in terms of their car choices on the field. And from what I could see early on, I think we have ourselves a pretty varied grid. I see a lot of Lamborghinis, a couple of Audis, a few Ferraris, and one Porsche.
My precious Porsche that I love. That's my favourite GT3 out of all of them. But yeah, we're riding on board with Lambo at the moment. And he's on his little out lap here, so he's going to let the heaps of cars go by here and just pull up the tyres, which he's doing very nicely at the moment. Now he's going to come up to the big sweeper here. So we're at the back of the course, and this is Gallo Valero, which we've been seeing him do very successful things. He's a pro driver. It's got it on his licence, and he's been very successful in AMX Global. There's his stats there, ages 28. Gallo Valero, and he's raced for Apex Racing, so a very big team at the moment. We see a lot of them with their academy, and obviously he's in the main one, so he's doing really well at the moment. So we're going to see him start at his lap.
I don't think we should have a bit of an onboard lap with one of these drivers so we can get a feel for the track right now. I'm not particularly familiar with Donington Park, so I could use a little bit of a refresher, I think.
Yeah, so turn one, we're coming up to here. This is a bit of a nice corner. You got to get the car nice and slowed up. Use all the entry here. Get the car turned in. Hit that apex there. You got a lot of road there. Drive it on the exit. Use as much throttle as possible. You don't want to kick the TC in at all. Come down the hill. The car will get nice and light here. So the Lamborghini's going to be nice and careful here. Flat foot. And then hard on the brakes. Turn right here. You'll get a bit of understeer and a bit of a heavier car. But in these cars, in the Formula car, they absolutely go flying through there. Up through the hill, up to the top of the hill now. This is a bit of a hill. People don't really notice it. Now turn right here. This is a bit of a flowing corner down to third gear. So do you use second? No, 130 k's through there. So he's carrying quite a bit of speed through there. Driving on the exit. Now, this is a bit of an interesting one. Normally there's a layout where you can go right, then turn left, but this one's got the extra bit, so he's got to fly through the chicane through here, or in third gear, 140 kilometers an hour. Oh, he's backed out a lap because I think he's got an off track just through that chicane, but then you go down the hill, down in the first or second gear, then you turn left up here as well. So yeah, that's a lap at Donington Park and a GT3. So these guys I'd say that all these guys know their way around here if they're from the motherland. So, and Harrison's actually from here as well, so that'll be good to see him put some laps down. And look at this, Felipe just on the phone, just cruising along.
Yeah, definitely taking his time with his qualifying lap. I mean, he's got nothing to worry about, all things considered. He's got the fastest lap right now. Of course, that could change within the next 8.5 minutes of the qualifying. There you go. He's hung up the phone. Now he's ready to go full throttle. Got the headphones in, and he's about to start his outlet. Oh yeah, right there. Kieran Harrison is now back in front with the fastest lap of 125.7, which is pretty much what you'd expect from cars, from the GT3 cars here.
Yeah, the countryman putting it right on pole here in the Assetto Racing Lamborghini. We've seen him in a heap of cars recently. We saw him in the GTEs. I did a race with him. He's a very quick driver. Knows how to handle one of these GT cars. So he's going to come up through the hill now. And here's the stats here. Kieran Harrison, simracing, age 24. So he's a bit of a youngin'. But I love how I'm saying that, and I'm younger than him. Doing really well though here at AMX. He's been very I'd say like not dominant, but like he's just been very professional how he drives. Like he's not an aggressive driver. He's not like a really clean driver. He's in the middle, and yeah, he's been doing really well on AMX. So he's going to come through this last chicane and start his lap in the next couple of corners. But yeah, the cars look great. I love the Assetto Racing liveries. I actually just bought a Assetto Racing wheel, so yeah, I can confirm their wheels are very good. And it's just been pipped by Gallo Valero, which we were talking about before. He's been very successful as well, and we can see another lap, Damon.
Yeah, definitely. I think Kieran had to call that one off because of the way that he took that chicane. That chicane is probably going to be a very big point of contention for this race because of how the track limits are. I can see from the way these cars attack that chicane that there could be a couple of mistakes going on over there.
Yeah, definitely. There'll be a lot of off tracks I could see. And have a look at this camera. I love this. He's got it like, I don't know how he's done that. I think he might have like a bipod and it might have like angled the wrong way. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, bottom right is to see where all our deltas basically are. So you see on the bottom, you can see names in yellows and greens and purples. On the right there, purple is the fastest lap in session sector. Then green's personal best, and yellow is basically not improving. So you can actually see there, Dino in the bottom there, you can see purple, yellow, and green. So it's a very good little thing there. And Dino's going to come across the line with his Audi V10, and does he take pole? No, he doesn't actually. That might have been an off track. He's going to go around again for the next lap. But Gallo Valero being on top though, but with that 9K rating, doing very nice. Kieran on a good lap as well, Harrison. Running on board now that he's coming around in the last corner. Does he take pole again? Next guy's going to chop and change where they're going to sit for tonight. Yes.
Oh, that's not great.
No. I think they've done the exact same lap time, haven't they? Oh no, they're 200ths off each other.
Oh yeah, they have.
That's
No. That they have. Look at that.
That's insane.
20,
I was going to say that
25.
I swear, Gallo Valero, the only thing that he can't drive is a V8 supercar, but that's about it. This man knows how to drive any car. I've seen him in every track at GT3s. Just seems like he just knows how to drive these cars so smooth and so direct, and he's showing us that tonight with Harrison backing up by only 200. So it's good to see with these fixed setups that it's nice and close, and it's just off how you drive the car and how you place the car around the track. But you can change the brake bias though, so there's a little bit of movement. Riding aboard here.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see.
That's not the greatest car camera to cut to.
I love how he just leans over with his mouse and just resets it immediately. Doesn't even look at the camera. He's like, nope, I'm out. See ya. Back to pits, and we're going to start another lap here. I'm going to actually pull up the telemetry because the names are really hard to read for some reason. But I think it's more of a me issue. But I was going to say everyone's pulling over, but there's certain people that are on laps like. Actually, this will be a good thing to talk about. So, Damon, obviously you've raced before, but obviously being in the caliber of these boys, for instance, Harrison's on a really good lap. Someone could be in the way. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so hard to determine. Do you go left, right? Do you pull over? Do you keep going? Like, you know, it's so hard to do. What would you do if you were a slower traffic?
If I was to encounter slower traffic, and if this is a stretch because usually I'm the slow traffic, right? What I'd probably do is I think I'd have to brake. I have to let out the traffic because I don't really know where they're going to enter from. I can't particularly predict where they're going to go. So for me, it's best not to take that chance, right?
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. It's definitely a hard thing, but yeah, it looks like these guys are doing a really good job. We can see a couple of them pulling over, but Harrison on a lap right. I think he's on for a good lap. I think he just needs to put it together. Like, you can see in the lap, like, there's just a couple little mistakes that just you know, he loses 10th there, a little bit there, and I reckon he might be on a heater this one. But I was going to say there's some interesting names in that I would kind of see up the front. Simon, he's in P9 at the moment, so I can imagine he will be up the front at the end of the race. Who's Dino? Dino's been up the front tonight, so that's good to see. Tim State down the bottom, good to see him again in the Porsche. You did mention that before. Damo, and we've got a couple of Canadians down below as well. I'm on board with Tim State.
Oh man, he's got the VR set and everything. This guy is immersed.
He's locked and loaded, mate. Ready to go. Hey, I was going to say, Tim State's been improving recently. I've been seeing how he's been driving. He's definitely been improving. Like, we've seen him being, you know, outside of the top 20, now being in the top 15. So he could be on pole position here for the reverse grid, which we've only got a couple of minutes left. So about a minute and 30 seconds. I'm going to stop messing up my words every 5 seconds. And yeah, Tim State doing really well here, so he'll be on probably front row if he can stick where it is, or he might improve. So, and he's going to come through the chicane now, right over the curbs. Look at that movement of the Porsche. It's been nice and stable. Now we're on the Ferrari, and we're actually going to the Canadian, Samuel. So Samuel is running the VR as well, so he's in 16th. So he's actually trying to drop off his fellow countryman right next to him. Oh my God. Harrison is on an absolute fly. I just seen 3 purple sectors. That man is flying. Oh, Descalo Valero, pull him up though. No, he's got him.
There we go.
He got him. Wow. What a great lap time, man. He got him by quite a bit actually. About 800ths, which doesn't even sound like much, but to these guys it would be massive. And I think that might be it, because Harrison's only got 30 seconds left and everyone else is going to have to try and get around and finish their laps. Riding on board with the other Canadian, Leo. Good to see him again. We did see him in a couple of races, can't remember what though. I'll have to jog my memory. But Leo, push cup. He did push a cup at Spa, so I actually joked about you'll like this, David. I joked that he went up the inside and he threw maple syrup up the inside so he could slide on through.
That's a pretty good one.
Take it away, Damon, for the results, mate.
Alright, well, as you can see, that's Kieran Harrison taking the fastest lap of qualifying. In fact, in qualifying first place with 125.6, 800ths of a second behind him, of course, is Gal Valero. So that means they'll both be starting P15 and P14 on the grid respectively, which means that Tim State, who you said has been improving quite a lot recently, will be starting on pole, followed by Kulhavi, Dornella, Dean, Zamperlini, Mori, Gaspar, Lizowski, Antunes, Chico, Perez, Felipa, and Blaynan. So I've seen some of these drivers over on Tuesday's race session, and they were plenty fast right now. So I'm quite excited to see. However, there were certain instances on Tuesday's session that made me think that maybe like there might be a little bit of a, how do I put this? A little bit of on-track action, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, these guys get a little rowdy on those last couple laps. I did a race at Silverstone in the GTEs, and the guys were, definitely on it. They were try to get up the front. And obviously it's a reverse grid, so it makes it quite interesting. And that's what we're all about at AMXglobal.com. And I've mentioned this already tonight in AMX1. But if you guys want to come check us out, check out AMXglobal.com. And there's our starting grid. So we've got Tim State, Gaston in P1 and P2, Lucas in P3, Pedro in P4, Fabio in P5. It's good to see Fabio. Simon, I'm a bit baffled, to be honest. I think he might not just put as much practice in, but Simon's going to start in P6. I'm just trying to read it. Yep. Then Gaspar in P7, Raggio in P8, Daniel in P9, Dino Felipe in P12, and then Gallo Valero, then June in P13, Samuel Burnett in P16, and Karras and Keon Harrison. Oh my god, Harrison in P15. So there's your grid for the top 15, and going down the list is you got Leo, and you got everyone else sitting there. So I was kind of thinking about this before, Damon. If you're a guy in P16, do you go for a lunge, or do you just stick behind him, you reckon?
I mean, I'd have to look at the field, right? Because if there was anything happening at T1, I wouldn't want to be caught in the crossfire. And Donington Park right now, we saw it on the onboard lap. T1 might be a little hairy for some of the drivers, as now they're off. The parade lap is over, and they're taking off the lead. Tim staying in first place. Colabi is right behind him. We have a nice train coming into turn 1 right now. We're on with Perez right next to Felipe right there. And so far, very incident-free turn 1.
Yeah, no incidents at all. Lambo up the inside, Gallo Valero trying to make a move, and contact with Tim State in the back that spun in the Porsche, and he's hit the barrier. That's no good for him. So there's some damage to his engine, so he's gonna have to get that gunning going, and the Audi's off. Oh, there's a car in the background as well.
What? I mean, I just jinxed it, didn't I? I shouldn't have said that turn 1 was incident-free, because it just went haywire afterwards.
And what bonkers, didn't it? So we just seen some movement. Samuel Burnett is up 7 spots and up into P9. Gallo Valero is up 6 in P8. So Gallo Valero getting a really good start. Simon is in P4. So Simon could get some good moves going here. He's a very competent driver. I've seen him move some really good drivers out of the way, and done some really good moves as well. So here we go. We're going to finish off the lap in lap 1 and 1 lap down out of 14.
Yeah, and I think the biggest piece of news from the last lap right now, Kieran is out. One of our fastest drivers on the grid is out of this heat. Yeah, Leo Mora is also out alongside Liz Alwiski and Tim State. Tim State is in the pit, so he might come out eventually. But right now, we just shrunk from 18 cars to 14, and that was within the first half of the first lap.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. We saw the movement at like turn 2. We saw Gallo Valero kind of get a move done, and I think it just bunched up everyone. So everyone's trying to go for dive bombs moves. And talking about moves, Audi on the outside trying to get a move done. Then we go up to the field. Daniel up the inside, yes. Gallo Valero trying to follow through as well in the big Lamborghini. There's no Lamborghinis here tonight, so good to see the Italians are strong out here for their cars. Gallo Valero is going to try and get this move done as well on Fabio Zambolini as well up the road, and he's got Daniel in front of him, so he's going to have to try and get a move done and down in the hairpin. I reckon he might do it. Yep, he goes for the dive bomb. Look at that, great move. Zambolini and all these guys up the front. Pedro and Simon is up here, so these guys are having some good battles up here. Gaston is up the front as well, which I think he's kind of pulled away a little bit, but he's got a little bit of breathing room. And Gaston getting a good little lead, and then Lucas Donnell right behind. So Lucas doing really well here in the slipstream. We talked about slipstream all last race. Damon, I reckon it would be the same around here.
Yeah, in certain parts I definitely would agree with you. There are going to be parts where slipstream does matter, but compared to what we saw earlier on in Talladega, this is a much more technical circuit. There's not a lot of straightaways where you can really abuse the slipstream effect. And on what I mean, it wouldn't be as pronounced as it was on an oval when everyone's going at max speed all the time. You can see Dornella here behind, trying to see whether or not he can make it past Gaston in the Ferrari. Honestly, I really like the look of the Ferrari, but compared to everything else, it's probably one of the quietest cars on the field.
Yeah, so the Ferrari's actually got like a... Ooh, we see the flashes are on. They're on. So the Ferrari, the 296, here's the incident with Perez and Gallo Valero. So that's why we saw Lamborghini in the background go flying off. And that's the replay. Does he hit the wall? Yeah, he does. That's unfortunate. It doesn't look that bad. He keeps going. But yeah, the Ferrari's actually been downgraded from a V8 twin turbo to a V6 twin turbo. So that's probably why it's so quiet. And they've probably got mufflers on the thing too. So compared to the Lamborghini with the big V10 just roaring down the main straight now. And the Audi as well. Simon, we see him just going into turn one, trying to get a move done.
Yeah, still stuck at P4. The battle for P1 is a big one right now. We can see 7 cars less than 10 seconds apart from one another. So this is kind of looking like a train right now. He's hounding Dean, trying to see if he can make a pass happen, but not close enough to really look for an opportunity.
Yeah, the opportunities look like that hairpin coming down that hill after the chicane. See Pedro here just getting a bit of sweat off his glasses there. Oh, Lucas trying to go for a move. Lucas has had a crash, and Lucas is off the road. Gaston is on the outside, and it looks like Simon is going to go for the move up the inside with him, with Pedro, and Pedro's gotten through. Yeah, he's gotten through. Oh, Dean's just holding on there. Pedro on the inside, and we're going to see Simon just up the inside. He's going to follow him 3-1 maybe. No, 2 wide. We're going to keep sensible. Go Valero there as well. See that, and another Brazilian next to him. Oh, contact with the Ferrari and the Audi with Simon just trying to cover there. 3 wide. Brazilian backs out of it there. We just saw the Lamborghini up the inside. 3 manufacturers in the turn. The last turn doing really well there.
Oh man, what an intense race right now. We're only a third of the way through, and the battle for P1 is heating up. Unfortunate for Lucas Dornella here. Ended up losing out on the fight. He was actually in contention for a top 5 spot or podium finish. Ended up having to sacrifice that now. But aside from that, it's shaping up to be very intense. And from what I can see, Donington Park isn't the widest track in the world. So it does seem like a lot of these opportunities to overtake are very risky.
Yeah, it does look like that. It looks like if you throw the dive, you're going to have to be very committed, and you're going to have to let that driver know, I'm there, you can't just turn in, because, you know, the moment someone turns in, that will be it. You can see the opponent cam with Gallo Valero, and we've actually got Zambolini on the screen, so good to see him back here again. The Brazilians being very strong in this league. Gallo trying to go for a dive there. Oh, does a little look. Simon having a look in the background in the Audi. Just saw him a bit of movement.
Oh no!
Valero's off.
Oh, I wonder what happened there. I think he was holding it quite well on the exit, and it might have been a little bit of contact on the exit that caused him to, you know, just spin out and crash into the barrier. His car seems to be fine, but he's lost a lot of pace. Whether or not he'll be able to keep up is going to be a different story as we see an instant replay of Dornella's incident. Yeah, you can see there, he just turned in, tried to go on the inside, but basically no one knew it was there, and he ended up just getting tapped on the bumper.
Yeah, it did look like that. It was a bit weird, but it was probably not the best passing opportunity. Lucas going on the outside. So yeah, a bit unfortunate, but we're going to have a replay with Gallo Valero pretty shortly, I'm sure of it. So that was a quite an interesting contact. I think it was side-to-side contact, but I think there might have been a bit of net code because it made it look very, lot more drama, I'd say. So there's riding on board with Simon into the back of the track now, and he's been doing all right. He backed out so Valero could get through and carve his way through, but it looks like Simon's going to have to do more work up the inside. Oh, great move there. I'm surprised we don't just call this DTM racing because it's so hard. It's great to watch. Up the inside, Simon up the inside. Oh, it covers it. Does well there. Simon doing really well there. But we saw Gaston there just put his car in a really good spot there and try and get back under him. So Simon getting through in second place, and Gaston is on P3. So we got Zambolini right behind him as well. So it's been a good little battle here.
Yeah, and it's funny that you mentioned DTM because we were with some of these drivers on Tuesday when they were driving the TCR cars, and basically it was us just watching as hell unfolded all around us. It's like we were on a boat stuck in the middle of the ocean during a thunderstorm. It's just what we felt at that time.
I totally agree with you. We did ride Atlanta with GT3s, and that was out there. But yeah, these guys are keeping it pretty sensible for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars field here. So here's the replay of Gallo Valero. So does he just turn out? I reckon he might do. Yeah, he does. So he tries to squeeze one of the drivers there, and yeah, he's just the driver on the outside's just giving him no room, which is fair enough. He doesn't need to back out, and Valero's just been dumped there into the. Someone's went for the dot bomb, which is Martin, just straight up the inside, and yeah, it just looked like Martin went for the dive, and last minute, I think that was Dino just covering it and going, nope, that's my corner, buddy. So I thought it was actually Simon there because obviously they're in the same liveries, looking really good in those Audis at the moment.
Agreed. A lot of these liveries do look very nice on some of these cars right now. As you can see, big train going on for a battle for P2. At this point, anything can happen. You can see some of the drivers that are running off, going a little bit wide. They're still maintaining the pace, however. Pedro Dean is actually extending the lead by about 1.5 seconds since we last saw him right now. So he's pretty comfortable. Just has to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes, and he should be fine. Gallo Valero, as we saw earlier in the replay, did take a big hit when he crashed into the barrier, so he's stuck all the way in the back right now, which is probably signifying the end of the race for him because we've got only about 6 laps before the end of the first heat.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for Gallo though, but at the end of the day, he did turn out, and there was just a bit of contact. And look at this, Dino was trying to go for a move, and someone's went through. That was a great move by Martin there. I think it was Martin, or no, that could have been Gaspar there, getting a good move down there with the Lamborghini. I love it. Contact, huge contact, 3 cars around. That's actually his teammate Simon's around, and who else is around? No, Simon's not around. Pedro is still there. Gaston's around. That's who it is. Gaston's around.
Oh man, that was unfortunate. I think 3 cars ended up out there. The Whiskey, who did actually end up in the pit lane, then rejoined the race after his incident on lap 1, got all the way up there, and then ended up getting taken out again. So I think his race is over. So, which is really unfortunate for him. Oh no, there's a Whiskey is still in the field. I'm seeing 2 names that look almost exactly the same, and I got confused.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair enough. Another voice crack. I must be getting younger. I wish I was getting younger. But riding on board with one of the Brazilians, Gaspar, we saw him actually not get caught up in that incident, so he's gained 2 spots as well. He's kind of set in the same spot, but he's gained 2, so good on him. So P5 at the moment. 7K this guy is. That's impressive, to say the least. And Dino Filippo right in front of him was 9K. So these guys are definitely not messing around. And we're going to go to a full screen replay, sponsored by BenQ. BenQ replay. Let's have a look at this incident. So Gaston parks it on the apex. Yeah, so someone's just run into him.
That was Zampolini. He went in way too hard on the corner, and while Gaston was trying to make a pass happen, ended up slowing both of the cars down, and then the cars that were directly behind him just ended up having nowhere to go. And then you can see there was another spin right at the start finish straight just ahead as well. So this was like several separate incidents all consolidated into one big scene.
Yeah, it looked like that, didn't it? We just had incident on incident, but yeah, from that incident, I'd almost say Gaston's just slowed up the car because the car's obviously tyres are probably a little cold or they're too hot. And yeah, it looks like Zambolini just went straight into the back of him, and I don't blame him. Like, Zambolini couldn't go anywhere, so it'd be interesting to see what really happens there. Like, I'd love to know in the live chat, guys, what you think. Like I said in the AMX one, have a look, and love to have some chats. I was going to say, Pedro Dean out front just pulling more of a gap, but Simon's actually pulling it back in. We see Simon go from about a second and a half, almost down to second and 0.5, so he's doing all right there, 0.4, sorry.
And I think I may have made a mistake with the driver that I don't think it was Zampolini because he's still in a pretty comfortable position right now. I think he might have been one of the other drivers. Could be Antunes or Chico. Wouldn't be really particularly sure, but until we get the Lewis inquiry about it.
I had a look at Damo. It was actually quite funny. Zambolini hit him and just went straight through. He didn't even get a consequence. That's the funny thing about that whole incident. So it's actually, it was Zambolini. So yeah, it's quite interesting, that incident. So yeah. No.
Yeah.
Here's a another full screen replay as well.
And here we go, you can see, I think this is another car that ended up spinning just on his own, completely unprompted. I wonder what, he just lost it. And then ended up causing a bit of an incident, more damage there going on, blocking the traffic. That was just unfortunate on his behalf, but it kind of looked a bit funny to watch.
Yeah, definitely it was. We saw that Audi get around. I was going to say the Audis are very strong. It looks like the Audi's a better race car at this point. And thank you to Ben Q for the replay. And we saw him just pull into the pits there. And now we're riding on with Zambolini and with Dino Felipe right behind. So Dino, I'd say, he's pretty keen to get around and catch up to his teammate Simon. And Simon's bringing back that gap massively. So Simon could be on for a win here. Lap 12 are on and 2 laps to go. So let's see what happens here. Zambolini is going to try and cover off. Zambolini's been good at parking the car on the apex. So let's see it happen. And we got Dino on the opponent cam as well. Is that an office chat?
Dino. Looks like it actually.
I was gonna say I'm annoyed because I've got like a full-blown sim rig. If this guy's got an office chair and he's 9k, I'm gonna be slightly annoyed, just a pinch. But Dino doing well here. Good drive off the exit there. So Dino's got some pace here, but we can see here Zambolini's not holding him up though. So it looks like the Lamborghini's got more exit drive, but it looks like the Audi's got more mid corner. So this will be a good battle between these two cars. And you see the difference. Look at and the brakes look like the Audis are pretty good on as well. Zambolini doing really well here, going on to lap 30. Sorry, go Damo.
Yeah, no worries. I'm still trying to figure out exactly like what's going on right now. I play iRacing on wooden chair actually. Good on you, man. Honestly, like, if whatever works for you. And anyway, going back to the action right now, Dino Felipe, still trying to find an opportunity to get past Zambolini there. You mentioned earlier that the Huracan does seem to have better exit speed, while the Audi is better at early and corner turning. Whether or not that balances each other out remains to be seen, but so far this is going to be a 2-car battle for P3.
Yeah, it's going to be a good battle, and I reckon we should go up to P1 because we can see a battle brewing up at the moment. Simon and Pedro Dean up the front are having a good battle. They're about 7 to 8 tenths, and it was about 1.5. So these guys are starting to heat up with a battle. And I was going to say Pedro's been pretty successful in AMX this year, so I reckon another win would be nice for him. And we can see he's a younger driver too, so good to see the youth coming out to AMX and getting some runs in. But look at this line, good line through there, driving on exit. Look at that, watch his eyes, Damo. You can see his eyes just go, look up to the top, looking at the mirror, drop back down, up, down. Like, it's so interesting watching people's like faces, expressions, eyes, because you can learn a lot about a driver when you watch their face. With Simon on the back here. And Simon is just hunt him down here, down into turn 1. Look at the braking performance under that Audi. Looks like it's pretty good mid-corner, and now he's going to commit out of the corner. Get some grip. Trying to not find that traction control, because the traction control would bog the car down, lose a bit of time. But we've seen the same battle from Zambolini and Dino, exact same battle. And it's actually the same, I was going to say it's almost the same nationalities battling, but it's not. White flag were on as well, so Dean's just going to have to try and hold on to this for one lap. I reckon Simons doesn't really have much here, but back there, Zambolini, I reckon Dino's close enough. If he threw the car up the inside, I reckon he would get it. Dino just wiping his face again, adjusting the glasses, and he's going to come down to the last chicane. 3 here. Oh, look at that. Simon getting a good run. He's going to come it. That's going to compromise him on the exit. Simon coming around the outside. Does he go under? Yes, he does. Simon goes under, and Simon's going to take the win. And Simon knows what he's done. Oh, Dean's not happy. He's not happy. And the battle in the background as well with Felipe and Zambolini. I reckon that's pretty much sealed. And Simon is going to take the win. I did say he would do well here tonight. And he takes the win there for race 1 of AMX 10.
Great drive from Simon Demori right now. Able to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. He's going to be really happy with that. Dean, unfortunately, caved into the pressure a little bit, ended up wide on that final turn. So, props to him, still held on to the lead for almost the entire race. Zambolini managing to keep Felipe at bay and secured the P3. Felipe in 4th. Lucas Dornella managing to claw back himself, and now in P5. Lena in 6th. Liz Whiskey in 7th. Perez in 8th. Ulavi in 9th after what was a catastrophic incident for him, dropping a few positions. But because of the results that we have right now, reverse grid for Heat 2 is gonna shape up to be a bit of a banger.
It should be definitely a banger. I haven't heard the word banger forever. That's such a great word. I love that word. But yeah, like Damo has said, it should be a good little race here with race 2 coming up. So there's our results. BenQ session winner. So Simon Demore is going to take the win for $30. So I reckon he'd be pretty happy with that. Started up the front, but he's going to finish in P1 as well. Pedro Dean is finishing 2nd. Fabio Zambolini is going to finish in 3rd. Good result from him. He really deserves it. Well done to him. Dino in P4. Lucas in P5. June in P6. Radrigo. My apologies.
Rodrigo.
P7. Rodrigo. My Australian accent can't deal with it. But yeah, there's the rest of the list, guys. Appreciate that race. That was awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And the biggest thing right now that we can draw from this is that Gal Valero, who didn't have the best Heat 1 race, is now going to be starting on pole. He did get the fastest lap, so we know he's fast, but we'll have to see whether he'll be able to run away from the pack this time. Tim State ended up in P13, so now he is stuck in P3. Daniel Antunes in P2. So it's a different start, but right now we just have to see if they can make it through the first lap without any incidents.
Yeah, for sure. I think these guys will. I think for Gallo Valero, he will. I think this is a victory in his head, because if he can just get away from the mess, he has got this covered, because Simon is going to have to drive from the back, and Dino. You know, we've seen those two Audis be very strong in the race. You know, if they can drive up to the back of Gallo, what a drive. But at the same time, Gallo got the fastest lap time last time around. So for race 2, we're going to go again. Last race of tonight, race 12. Appreciate for everyone coming out, and we're going to go green for this last time for tonight. And here we go, going green. Listen to these Lamborghinis drive off into this. It's Gallo Valero getting a good start. Tim State on the inside. Does he go for a move on one of those Lamborghinis? No, he backs out a little bit. Ferrari up the inside, 3 wide, and contact. Oh, that was good on racing there. Tino Filippo in the back there, just moving around inside Simon Demore. And there he is there, making some positions up already, doing well there. He's not messing around, this man.
Yeah, definitely. I think what happened was Tim State, I think, braked a little bit too early for that corner that kind of spooked the rest of the drivers behind him. Ended up having to concede a bunch of positions as well. So he's now back down to 10th, which is unfortunate for him, leaving the faster drivers pull up in front right now. So you can see our top 5, not very different from what it was early on. Actually, maybe it is quite different right now, of course. Raimondo Mori still stuck in P15, unable to make any headway. Meanwhile, Samuel Burnett actually climbing out of positions quite quickly.
Yeah, he is actually. I was going to say Pedro Dean's been moved up a lot, 3 positions. Tim State off the track. Oh no, and that's Zambolini too. That's so unfortunate. Zambolini having a great race last time, obviously getting P3, so he's going to have to face the consequences there and be at the back. Gallo Valero getting an awesome drive out of that corner. Look at the gap he's opening up just bit by bit. Almost out to a second now. Fastest lap to Gallo Valero. Kind of expected that, let's be honest. Getting a good launch out of there. I can imagine he'll have no troubles at this point, but at the same time, Daniel's a 9K driver. Daniel's no slouch. Martin's right behind, up 1 position. June, we're riding on board with now.
All right, here we go. You can see on the replay there, Appolini just tapped the back of Tim State, knocking both cars out. I think Tim State did end up taking that chicane a little bit too slow, and Appolini wasn't expecting that. Both of them spinning almost in synchronization. And unfortunately, both of them unable to recover from it as well, which leaves both of them in a very precarious position.
Yeah, it was such a weird little incident, wasn't it? But riding back on board with Felipe, we've seen him being very strong at the back of that race. I'd say he'd want to be where Simon was that last race, so the 2 teammates moving up bit by bit. Dino being up a little bit more front. Oh, David just getting bottlenecked there at the corner, so he had to slow up a lot. So we had June behind him, right behind him, just had to slow up massively. And Rodrigo just trying to drive off that corner with the Audi, but he's got Gaston in front of him. And we saw this incident last time where Gaston was just not driving off the corner too much. So we're going to see these guys move around a lot, I can imagine.
Yeah, definitely. And right now, I think it does look a little bit cleaner than it was in race 1. There was a lot of chaos going on back there. And while we were busy talking about that, you did mention Antunes was going to give Gallo Valero a run for his money, but the lead has extended. It's now over a second. So Gallo Valero, amazingly quick driver there, just making mincemeat of the current of the race.
Yeah, it's so fascinating watching Gallo Valero driving up the inside. Oh, Dave at the inside, there's going to be contact. No, wow, good driving from both of them. And they're actually going to get overtaken by 2 drivers here. And we're going to actually see Simon Demore come through as well. And the Canadian, Samuel, just drive through. Oh, see what I meant by last time was... if you make a move, you've got to commit. You can't do a half one because, you're just going to get absolutely swallowed. Simon just, look at that again. Oh, that's so annoying. Perez just getting absolutely swallowed there. You can see he's scratching his head going, what just happened? But he's going to have to drive back through the field now, sitting in 10th. And we move back up the front though.
Alright, we're here on Juan Lenat's car, another Argentinian driver that I didn't see on race 11, but that's probably because it was a weeknight and not a lot of drivers are free during that time. Aside from that, however, the Audis themselves are pretty great cars to have around this corner. I mean, there's a lot of low speed corners, and the way that these cars take the entry and mid corners are very, very well. I'm struggling to find words to form a coherent sentence with, I guess because it's late right now. But other than that, I think we are going to have a bit of a race on our hands.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a good battle brewing in the back. We can see a couple of faster drivers are at the back at the moment, and we can just see like all the guys up the front though, they're being really clean. Like none of them have really made massive moves that's going to interrupt having, you know, a huge incident or something that's just going to affect the race quite dramatically. We can see here where I'm riding on board with June at the moment. We see Rodrigo in front and Gaston in front, so I've actually got his name right there, Rodrigo. So apologies on that last one. So Rodrigo just driving on the exit there, and you can see June just having a bit of a wobble out of the corner, and you can see he's shaking his head a little bit.
I just read the comment and said, "Is Lizzo Whiskey Juan's dad?" Because they look almost the same, except Lizzo Whiskey looks a bit older. As you can see that Lizzo Whiskey having to concede a bunch of positions there. I think he didn't end up with the best line through that turn, which gives the Felipa time to make a move on him. Now back up to P7, so he is actually driving really, really well.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, like I said before, like Dino and Simon are just driving so well. Like we've seen these two Audis just work together really well. Obviously, being, I'd say they're teammates. The colours are the exact same. I see a sponsor on the side of not Dino, Simon. But yeah, I'd say they're teammates and they're working together really well. And Simon took the victory very well last time, and we can see him riding on board on the curb. I'd hate to be that cameraman on that curb. But Gaston, just getting overtaken by Dino and someone else there. I reckon he's going to get swamped here again from Rodrigo. I reckon he will. Is there going to be a dive bombing here? No. That was almost Brad Newman-esque there. If you know who that is, you know what kind of dive that is. Gaston riding on board now. 4.7k. Yeah. This guy's got some really good I rating. He's got more than me, which is quite sad, but I only do V8 supercars, so there's no officials. Anyway, driving off the corner in T1. Gaston getting a really good drive there. We can see there just using the Ferraris. I'd say the Ferrari's really good on the exits, really. Like, you don't really see the car moving around. You don't see the car moving around a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I think the 296 car is actually very stable, all things considered. To draw a comparison to, I think, ACC, of course, I think the Ferrari has the best top speed out of all the GT3 cars. Might be the same here, but considering the track itself, I don't think top speed matters too much.
Yeah, you were saying the Ferrari is... would it be the same? It is definitely the same. There was testing at Bathurst, and they had to bop for the official 12-hour 3% power. That is like amazing how much bop that is. Actually, it was 4%. My apologies. It was 4%. So the car was bopped that much, but it was still one of the fastest. It was faster than a Mercedes AMG down the straight. So the Ferrari, I don't know why. It must be just that twin turbo V6 that just gets up and moves.
Yeah, definitely. It's crazy to think of that a car could be gimped so hard and yet still be immensely competitive. Right now, of course, we're going to see the leaderboard. Gal Valero again, just keeping that lead and making it even larger as the laps go by. We're currently halfway through the race right now. He's 1.6 seconds ahead of second place. So right now, it just seems that he doesn't really have any competition or worries to think about.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's just sitting pretty comfortable, and I'd say he's going to be in the commentary box pretty shortly, getting closer and closer to the end of this race. And yeah, he's doing really well in the Apex car, and I almost expect that of Gallo Valero. You know, he's a professional sim racer. He's out in front. He's got no one in front of him. He's got no issues. So if there was no issues, he's got it in the bag. So and I'm pretty happy with see Gallo at the front. He's very good competitor. Watch him do a lot of GT3s. He's done a lot of things. Like he's always versing Aaron Bestquest, but no Aaron tonight. So Gallo's kind of got a free night.
Yeah, definitely. And we even on race 11 when I last saw him, he was actually really fast there as well. I ended up just getting hit by Dino Felipe on the last race of that particular night. Aside from that, however, he's got no worries this time around. However, Chico is trying to make a move on Antunes for P2 right now. He's about 7/10 of a second behind him, which means that over the course of the next 6 laps or so, could definitely be something happening there.
Yeah, Martin Chico, we haven't really topped on too much, but here he is, Gallo Valero. It's almost like, oh yeah, he's just an Apex driver. Next person. Like, you know, you just expect him to be that good, and yeah, he's showing that. But yeah, Chico, we haven't really talked about. We did mention in the first race. Back to Rodrigo in the Octane Audi. Car looks really nice. It actually looks like like the Castrol Aston Martin we saw at the 12 Hour 2 years ago. Very similar livery to that. Through the chicane now, riding on board with Rodrigo and Gaston right in front of it. Gaston still hanging on by an absolute thread. We saw him get overtaken by Felipe and June and a couple of other guys, but yeah, he's holding his position. He's actually in his original spot, so Gaston made up spots. So Gaston, yeah, forcing some positions, and he's doing well.
Yeah, agreed. And whether or not he'll be able to keep Rodrigo at bay, it remains to be seen right now. We've got about 5 laps left before the end of the race. And so far, everything is pretty much in order. Doesn't seem to be anything too particularly urgent to look about. Well, as I say that, of course, we're looking at Juan Blenat right behind Gaspar. Less than 2/10, so something could happen within this particular lap.
Yeah, it looks like Gaspar is sitting on the back of the bumper, just looking really keen to go for a move. Let's see if he goes up here, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a move up here, or the chicane, after the chicane, sorry. Because, yeah, that car's looking really strong at the moment. And I was going to say with Gaspar as well, see that 7K, it's so fascinating looking on the iRacing. I should get some tips in the Discord and see how they get all the iRacing through the chicane now. And look at the run. This could be the move. Riding on board with June, and Gaspar straight up the inside. Look at the move. Solid move, and he got it done. Look at the wheel, the bottom left, just all the way down, and he got the move done. It was almost like it was a turn at Long Beach, and yeah, they didn't lose much time either, so that's good.
Such a clean pass coming in from Juan Blenat there, making short work of Gaspar that was under a bit of pressure, that having to force it to break lead and then going wide to take the overtake afterwards. Great overtaking maneuver. And you say that you haven't lost a bit of time. Yeah, definitely. Felipe is still behind them, not being able to close the gap, but not really forcing the issue as well. So we're pretty safe in that particular position. Here we go, Rodrigo Lizawiski, however, right behind Gaston, still trying to make a move, but these cars battling did give Lucas Donella and Perez time to keep up. So now it's a 4-car battle for P8 most likely.
Yeah, it does look like that at this point. These guys all been nice and close. But clean racing so far. We saw last race, obviously we already touched on. It was not too clean, but these guys looking really clean and good racing. That's what we want to see out in AMX. So riding on board with Rodrigo, this guy's got some airtime tonight. He'd be loving life. Chico actually just made a move up the front, actually. Just thought, oh, he's got the run. Yeah, he's going to go up the inside. This is definitely on. Gaston's going to have to keep it open. No, Chico's actually quite far back, so he's got to commit. Oh. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. The blue
Oh.
Lamborghini just giving him a tap there. Oh, and he drove off too. Oof. Oh. Simon just getting through there too. Simon only up 5 positions, so it looked like when he was up the front, he was making good progress, but he must have got stuck up behind some people. Dino Filippo though, getting some good moves done, up 6 spots up in the P6. So Dino, if he makes up a couple more spots, I think he's actually got the overall AMX 10 night. So this will be good to watch. Because I think it was the other person that was contesting that was Zambolini, but obviously he got spun at the start. So Zambolini's at P13 at the moment, and yeah, doing his thing back there, running on board, and Filippo, concentration phase.
I mean, you say that, but I think for the last 2 races I've seen him, he's always just looked like that, the face of pure determination. We did have it from an interview last time around as well, and he said definitely there were some instances where he felt that the drivers could have been a bit cleaner. It looks like he did get his wish this time around. Oh, when I say that, he just goes in for the dive bomb!
Wow. What happened there? Gasper, I don't even think Gasper put the brakes on early. I think Dino, like, I didn't think he lost concentration, but I don't think he expected it, because Gasper didn't even, not Gasper, Filippo didn't even make the apex, so I think Dino's just missed it by a couple of meters, and he's just missed it, so he's getting back with Gasper now. Gasper getting a good launch out of the corner, using a lot of the exit there. And we're on lap 12, so 2 laps to go.
Yeah, I think he's basically just trying to send a message like, I'm coming for that position, you better defend it with your life. As we come over to a replay, of course, of Lucas Ornella, seeing that coming up the back there, getting tapped on the rear and then unable to regain control of the car, forcing him all the way around, which is unfortunate for him. He's been part of a few incidents tonight, and I don't think he'll be particularly happy with today.
Yeah, I think it's been a bit of a rough day in the office, as they all say. So yeah, he will be trying to gain some positions back and try and gain back what he can. But yeah, it's been a rough day at the office. The one that hasn't though is Gaston. Honestly, I'm very impressed of, versing 6K, 9K, 3K up the front with Martin. Martin doing really well, actually. Just saw that. But yeah, like he's doing really well, standing his ground, not really giving anyone some breathing room. And that's what we love to see. Dino Filippo, though, like a Gaspar, this will be probably go on until the end. Gallo Valero out front by about 3 seconds, almost 4. So if it was a 30-lap race, I reckon Gallo Valero would even lap some of these guys.
Yeah, definitely. You can see the picture-in-picture right now. The battle for P7 is still going strong. Of course, Gaston doing his best to keep Rodrigo at bay. Whether or not they'll be able to hold it for 2 laps is going to be a different question entirely. These laps aren't very long if you think about it. About 4 kilometer long track, 1 minute 30 every lap. You got about 3 minutes of time to make a move and see whether or not it sticks. Aside right now with Dino Filippo, when maybe he'll try to actually make it overtake that sticks this time around. We'll have to wait and see. The gap isn't close enough for him to try and make a run just yet.
Yeah, I reckon with riding on board with Filippo, I reckon this hairpin could actually be a run. No, he hasn't. Oh, they buggered up that second little curve there, but look at this P7 down to the bottom right. Let's have a look. So this is Gaston and Rodrigo. Rodrigo in the Audi. Gaston keeping the inside. And Rodrigo's going to try and go on the outside. He just didn't get it. The Audi's got good drive though. And I reckon Rodrigo's probably got this Octane Audi up the inside and he's got it done. Well done. Good move.
Good move, having to force him wide and completely miss the apex, giving him a lot more exit speed coming out. Makes the overtake successful, and I think Gaston might be kicking himself a little bit for that because it's the final lap. The white flags have already been dropped, so whether or not he'll be able to make a move later on is going to be very hard to tell, but the gap right now is probably too big for him to actually try something.
I think the only battle that we should be focusing on is P5. Look at Dino Filippo. Just, like we said, the Audi's got really good drive in mid-corner. No. Yeah, it looks like at the moment because the Lamborghini's sliding around with the tyres being more beaten up at the moment. So I wonder if Dino can just set up this corner up here and get the drive off him. And I reckon he might be able to get it. Rodrigo overriding on board, and we've just went up to June. So good to see him. And Gallo Valero, the Frenchman, is going to come around the last corner and going to take this sweet victory. Look at this, Dino on the outside. Does he go under? No. Oh, he's just parked it perfectly. What a great park. Jasper trying to keep it on the inside. Dino just going back to the right. Dino's going to try and go under, and he is. No, he's not. Oh, Gasper's got there, and Gallo Valero takes the win. Great battle at the end there.
Yeah, unfortunate for Dino Filippo, wasn't able to make anything really stick. So unfortunate for him, he's have to set up a P5. Here go, battle for 15th place. This is going to be really big right now. Tim State is fighting Leo Mora for the $2 prize in 15th place. When coming down to the wire, they're at the final corner. This is going to be the most intense part of the battle right now for this particular lap. He goes in for the inside cut. Will he be able to make it stick? He does have the faster runoff though. Right now coming in. Oh, there's too wide as they enter the final corner. Tim State unable to take the line that he wants right now. Has to go on the outside, but he has a great run up on the exit. Leo's trying to cut him off, closing the doors on him, and the spin comes out, but it's just for the line. And Leo Mora actually crosses it. Rear end first.
Leo taking those $2. Sweet $2. So Leo taking that, the Canadian. And we're going to get to the fun part now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get into interviews. So we'll get ready for that. And I reckon we'll cut over to a little cinematic. And here we go.
Well, before we cut into the interviews, of course, we have to look at the results right now. Gallo Valero, our session winner and our fastest lap holder for this race. Very comfortable victory for him. Martin Chico actually doing quite well for himself in second place. Daniel Antunes rounding up the podium in third with Juan Blenat, Caio Gaspar, Dino Filippo, Rodrigo Lizawiski, Gaston Culavi, David Perez, Simon De Mori, closing out the top 10. So congrats to all these races. You did pretty well.
Yeah, that was a great race. I would say that was probably the second race was probably one of the best GT3 races we've had so far. But even race one was really good to see all the move. Now we're going to go to us and say hello. So, Dino, that was probably, you know, you've done the Tuesdays. What do you think of the weekend so far now?
I think I've seen some pretty intense racing. Like, this is only my second time here since Tuesday, so I'm really looking forward to what the next few weeks are gonna hold. But so far, my first impressions of the racing, it's pretty great, pretty intense, pretty competitive, and very enjoyable to watch.
Well, Damon, it's been great to have you on so far. So it's been good to work with you. So we're going to cut to some interviews and give us a second. And
okay, we're not ready for the interviews just yet.
We're just dragging them in now, but mate, that was a really good race. We saw Gallo Valero, you know, put his dominance there. You know, to say no Aaron Vasquez this week for GT3, which is a bit rare. I want to actually touch on that really quickly. That you know, he's always in the GT3s. We've seen him being very strong, but no tonight. So maybe Aaron's watching this race, mate. Get ready for next week. So here we go. So start the interviews. Simon, welcome to the interview chat, mate. How was the race?
Hey mate, yeah, was a pretty intense one, the first, and yeah, the second one obviously it's just about picking up the positions. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with the first one.
Yeah, it looked like, man. You showed some really good pace in the last couple of races. And tonight, do you think you were on pace, or do you think it was a bit of an interesting one tonight?
First of all, thank you. After qualifying, I thought like, yeah, it's not going that well today, but obviously with the reverse grid, I had a good chance in the first race, and yeah, I was pretty surprised that nobody was coming from the back in the beginning, but then they crashed, so I had a bit of clean air behind me, and yeah, I also damaged my steering a bit on lap 1.
Oh no.
With Tim, I think. So yeah, really.
Yeah, that's never good when you damage a steering rod. But mate, you had an amazing first race there. You controlled it really well, and you took the win on the last lap. By the way, second last corner, stuck the car up the inside and got that win. So, mate, congratulations for that one. And then race 2, is Dino Filippo your teammate? I'm just curious because your liveries were very similar.
No, I'm racing on my own, so I didn't know that.
Ah, very similar. The only difference was you had Fanatec down the side, I'm pretty sure. So, but mate, awesome race tonight. Would you like to say hi to anyone or thank your sponsors or anything, mate?
Yeah, I think my parents are watching, so hello to them. Yeah, I think that's it actually.
Well, mate, awesome race tonight. I hope they're proud of you, mate. You did really well. And hi, mum and dad.
Thank you.
All good, mate.
Cheers.
And now we're just going to wait for our next interview, which I'm pretty sure it's Gallo Valero. Oh, Tim State next, sorry. So just waiting for the interview now, dragging everyone around. Here we go. Hi, Tim State. How are you, mate?
I'm doing good, Connor. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. It's been good to see you improving, mate. You're up the front every time we start a race.
Yeah, because I start at the back, but yeah.
Mate, it's been awesome to see you race recently. What do you think of this track car combo, mate?
It's tricky. There's a lot of long, fast corners. And then especially that first lap with the cold tires.
It did look like that, mate.
Yeah.
It definitely looked like that. We saw that you're in the Porsche, man. I drive that car quite a bit. There's a lot of movement in that car.
There is. Well, it helps you get around the corner, right? It helps you rotate the back tires, but it can work against you too.
For sure, mate. We see you're the VR driver. We always joke around with that, mate. How do you find VR and screens? Have you just went VRs because more comfortable, more immersive? What's kind of the go with there?
It's more immersive. Yeah, I mean, I've done it on the monitors before, but it's certainly a lot more realistic, and you're a lot more into it. It's a lot more thrilling in the VR.
I can imagine, mate. I've got a teammate that runs a VR and he swears by it. Mate, we saw the last battle with your fellow Canadian. That was a great little battle.
Yeah, I got a little bumpy there for a little bit. So yeah, I was catching him up. I was like 8 seconds behind with like 6 laps left, and so I was just trying to catch him up, and I managed to catch him, but couldn't quite pip him to the post there.
Yeah, bloody Canadians with their maple syrup sliding everywhere. But mate, did really well here tonight. Tim, would you like to thank anyone, mate? Any of your sponsors or any of your family?
I don't have any sponsors, but I'd like to say hi to my wife Rebecca and my daughter Christine.
How sweet, mate. Well, great race tonight, mate. Great to see you're improving. Hope to see you up the front again, mate.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot.
Have a good one.
I was chilling for a bit there. Anyways,
Yeah, sorry, I was just swapping over. That was hard work, but mate, that was some awesome interviews. We had some really good people there. Good to chat to Tim State. But what was your overall review?
we had some amazing races. I definitely had a lot of fun, and it was really nice to do commentary with you tonight.
Same back to you, Damon. It was awesome, mate. So, what am I forgetting? Check us out, and I was just going to say down below, guys, there's heaps of links and all that. And I was going to say as well, thanks for the comments coming through, guys. It kept the entertainment always going. So, am I forgetting anything? Don't think I am. So, I was going to say from half of the all the production guys in the background. Appreciate everyone watching. We'll see you next time for AMX, and we'll see you on Tuesday or Monday. Or tomorrow, actually. My apologies. I thought we were on the last day, but we're not. Probably see you guys tomorrow, or we will see you tomorrow for GT3s on Assetto Corsa Competizione and GT3s at Daytona. Have a good one, guys.
See ya.
See ya.